Well, the fans getting in fine voice just ahead of kick-off, less than 10 before we get underway, and it's one of their own really coming back. Dominic Calvert-Lewin had 9 seasons at Everton. He's just had a run of 7 goals in 6 Premier League games. Only had that kind of spell once at Everton at the start of the 2021 season. 7 in 5 in the Premier League he got then. That led to an England call-up, and he got 4 goals in an England shirt, but his last appearance in 2021, he's had all sorts of issues, back issues, groin issues, hamstring problems, and that meant, all that coming together meant that last season it was just 3 goals in 28 games for Dominic Calvert-Lewin at Everton in the last campaign. Went off to Leeds. There was talk of him going to Man United, among other clubs, but went to Leeds. David Moyes actually said, Steve Bruce, that they tried to keep him, and I think some fans are wondering, maybe with the benefit of hindsight, why they didn't try harder to keep him.
Well, it's a good question. It's that one of them awkward ones, isn't it, for any football club, when somebody's been constantly injured, it seems, over the last 2.5 years or so, or whatever it's been. A return of 28 games last year with 3 goals. As I said, it was always about his fitness levels, and maybe they've tried to incorporate a deal where pays you play-ish or something like that, but Leeds have took a punt, and it's arguably as good a punt as anybody's taken this year, especially a centre forward in this climate. He's done fantastically well. If he stays well, we all know that he's a really, really good player.
Absolutely, and we were talking about midfielders earlier. One who has a chance of going to the World Cup if they win their playoff is the Welshman Ethan Ampadu in midfield for Leeds this evening, described by Daniel Farker as the glue between offence and defence. He called him a Rolls Royce of a player over the last couple of seasons, and I think he was missing when we were at Leeds Man United. He was missing from the midfield, and there was something missing from that Leeds midfield that day, wasn't there?
Well, there certainly was, and he is. We've seen it before. We've seen it with Sunderland with Granit Xhaka. One player, people say one player can't make a difference. If that influential, they can make a difference. And this kid certainly has been very, very good for Leeds and what they've done. I can understand why the comment of a Rolls Royce, because he moves very, very well. He's big, he's powerful, he's strong, he's quick, and it looks effortless for him. He's a very, 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 very decent player.
Yeah, really good, smooth on the ball, Ampadu, and he will be crucial tonight. That midfield with stacked back is going to be crucial for Leeds. It has been all season. If they stay up, I reckon that midfield, as well as the Calvert-Lewin goals, are the big reasons why Leeds will be playing in the Premier League. But we're getting ready for the team to make their way out at this stadium. You know, some things never really change. Yes, they've gone from Goodison, which was tight, cramped, it was old, it was brilliant, it was full of character and full of rich history, but they had to move from that stadium. You could barely move in it, and here they are at this magnificent new venue, but still they sing the old songs, still the old flags are flying away to our right, the banner in the middle of those 2 tiers, the Toffees in that old lettering, that old font, the Beatles font, remains there as we wait for the teams to come out. And of course, the Z-Cars music. They would never get rid of that, would they? Come on. As we await the 2 teams to hit the turf, to hit the dance floor here at Hill Dickinson Stadium, right on the docks, right on the River Mersey. And listen to the noise in this stadium as the players make their way out onto the grass. Wednesday night is the final night in the league stage of the Champions League. We've got PSG against Newcastle live on Talksport. Effectively, winner gets into the top 8. It's a shootout, that one. It's going to be brilliant. On Talksport 2, it's Chelsea away to Napoli. Chelsea in 8th position. Napoli not even in a playoff spot, so they need to win. Updates on Liverpool Spurs, and the show comes from the Etihad, where Man City must beat Galatasaray. It's all live and it's free on Talksport. Tonight, it's not Champions League, it's about avoiding a return to the Championship for Leeds as they come here to Everton, who would love a win to put them 7th and just a point behind Liverpool. Everton against Leeds, live and exclusive on Talksport with your commentary team of former Manchester United captain Steve Bruce, alongside Sam Masface.
It's the curious case of 2 teams that are confounding expectations. Everton, Leeds collide on the Merseyside at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. The Toffees with a squad assembled the tightest budget in the Premier League, but punching above their weight and landing foes despite injury setbacks. And a Leeds resurrection story formed by a tactical tweak that has confounded the doubters. Everton recorded a stunning 1-0 victory over third place Everton.
It's a weighty Wednesday night Champions League twofer live on the Talksport network from 8.
Paris Saint-Germain versus Newcastle.
On Talksport.
And Napoli versus Chelsea.
On Talksport 2. It's a world-beating Wednesday night of wild Champions League football on Talksport and Talksport 2.
Robbie Williams live at Drive in an unmissable TalkSport exclusive. Multi-platinum prints of...
On the road with just one victory in 8 away matches. Tonight represents a collision of momentum and vulnerability. Everton desperate to translate home advantage into consistency. Leeds hoping to end their away day curse. Let's go through the two 11s. Everton have Iliman Ndiaye returning from AFCON at just the right time. Jack Grealish absent, but Dewsbury Hall, Branthwaite and Alcaraz are on the bench tonight. Jordan Pickford is their goalkeeper. Patterson, Tarkowski, O'Brien and Mikalenko the back four. Garner and Gay are the two holders in midfield. McNeil, Armstrong and Ndiaye behind Tierno Barry in attack. Darlow is the goalkeeper for Leeds United, who made a couple of changes. Rodon, Strauch and Bornau. Then it's Bogle, Ampadu, Gruev and Justin Stack, and Aronson behind Calvert-Lewin in attack. Tommy Wright is an Everton legend. He sadly passed away last week, and before we start there will be a moment of reflection to mark his passing.
Ever to wear the royal blue shirt, who sadly passed away last week at the age of 81. Tommy was an FA Cup winner in 1966, league champion in 1970 and a regular England international. He made 374 appearances for Everton, his only club. We will now remember Tommy with a period of applause, starting with the referee's whistle.
Everton in blue shirts, white shorts and blue socks. They're attempting the goal away to our left. Leeds United all in white.
Talksport Podcast League. Outspoken with White and Jordan.
The best of White and Jordan is now available in one unmissable daily podcast.
So you've got a perfect storm.
From the top flight to the big fight, get opinionated debate that's always on the ball.
Time to hire somebody who can win.
And on the money.
This is a long way from a done deal.
Outrageous.
Outstanding.
Outspoken.
It's hard to say that, but it's the truth.
Out now.
Listen or download for free on the Talksport app or from your favourite podcast portal.
What you got here for us then, young Egon?
It's Talksport's live football, Governor. Where do you want it?
Bleeding hell, it's humongous. Right, take them 110 live Premier League exclusives and knob them over there with the 150 EFL fixtures.
Oh, geezer.
Playing them live Community Shields and Super Cups over by the Virtue Trophy games. And I think, Egon, that's us done it.
Hear over 500 games of live football on Talksport and Talksport 2.
What's in this trailer, Governor?
Hell, spells. It's another 100...
Well, we are back at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. We do seem to appear to have some technical problems. Maybe that is just the new stadium bedding in and there might be some technical issues inside this arena. But Everton have made a bright start attacking the goal away to our left. It's Everton Leeds live on Talksport, 0-0. Here's a corner for Everton towards the back post, headed down by Tarkowski into the penalty area, scooped away by Aronson on the edge of the box and then cleared up towards the halfway line. Here is Mikalenko. Diagonal ball in towards the Leeds box. It goes out of play and runs out away to our left-hand side. Well, if you are listening and you missed a couple of the bits of the introduction, we'll just recap the two teams for you. Everton in blue shirts, white shorts and blue socks, attacking the goal away to our left. They have Jordan Pickford in goal, Patterson, Tarkowski, O'Brien and Mikalenko are the back four. Garner and Idrissa Gueye returning from the AFCON in midfield, with Dwight McNeil, Harrison Armstrong and Iliman Ndiaye behind Tieno Barry in attack. For Leeds United, all in white and attacking the goal away to our right-hand side in the first half, it's Carl Darlow who keeps his position in goal. Rodon, Strauch and Bornau are the back three. Bogle, Ampadu, Gruev, Stack and Justin across the middle, with Aronson supporting Calvert-Lewin in attack. Here is Ampadu moving into midfield, being tracked by the youngster Harrison Armstrong. Plays it to the halfway line. Strauch down the left to James Justin. Be an interesting difference to see how he performs in comparison to the left wing back Gabriel Gudmundsson, who's been playing there over the course of the season. I think has done very well, Steve. But the back three is quite solid, isn't it?
It's very, very solid, and with James Justin playing on the left, he's a full-back really, so it's going to be difficult for him to go on the outside of anybody with his left foot. He's more defensive-minded player, so they are very, very solid in defence.
Here is Iliman Ndiaye, wriggling away from three Leeds United players, dancing down the left touchline, gets into an advanced position. Coming back to nab the ball off him was Anton Stack, who went round the outside and pinched the ball and pushed it out for a throw-in. But that was a mesmerising run from Ndiaye.
He's got wonderful ability, the kid, hasn't he? And we've seen it often this season. Had a great time away in the African nations and won the thing. Been a very, very good player for Everton this year, that's for sure.
Mikalenko to take a throw then as they go on the attack here, Everton. 3 minutes into the game, it's Everton 0, Leeds United 0. Mikalenko tosses the ball in towards the near post. Barry doesn't reach it. It's headed into the air by Stack. Drops for Garner. He then tries to help it back to the edge of the penalty area. It comes out towards the near touchline, where it's picked up by Mikalenko. Slides it down the left. Harrison Armstrong takes it on. Back into Mikalenko's crossing towards Barry. It's flicked by the outside of the boot. Takes a little deflection off Sebastian Bornau and goes out for a corner away to our left-hand side. Here's Steve Bruce.
Great start from Everton, haven't it? They've really, really asked the question. Put 3-4 crosses in. This is the second corner in only, the third minute? And they'll have to defend them really well, Leeds. This is where Everton are very, very good, in particular Tarkowski. Big threat for Leeds. They have to make sure they defend well.
Simon Hooper is the referee, the VAR tonight. James Bell. And just two players inside the 6-yard box, but now three run from the edge of the penalty to join. One of those is Barry as the ball comes in from Garner. It goes off the defender, loops into the air. There's an attempted overhead kick from Dwight McNeil, which doesn't quite come off, and it's cleared away. But it was sent back by Patterson to the edge of the area. Armstrong trying to nudge it forward, but he didn't get any contact on the ball, and Ampadu has nicked it off his toes, and Leeds look to try and get up the pitch. 4.5 minutes gone. Talksport live at Hill Dickinson Stadium on Bramley-Moore Dirt, with the Mersey surrounding us here. It's a chilly old night. The temperature is about 3 degrees. The real feels
The road to the FA Cup on Talksport and Talksport 2.
They're at it again!
The biggest names in the game bring you full coverage of the oldest association football competition in the world.
He's done it again!
Goal-getting, glory-seeking, live FA Cup football.
Sometimes you've just got to get the job done!
With all the goals at all the games.
I don't believe it!
Full coverage of the FA Cup, live on Talksport and Talksport 2.
It's time for a phoenix to rise from the ashes as England visits Sri Lanka for 3 ODI clashes, followed by another 3 T20 matches where we're hoping for wickets, huge sixes and catches. And there's only one place where you'll hear all the action as TalkSport 2 delivers live comms and reaction.
TalkSport 2 is the only place to hear live ball-by-ball commentary of England's white ball tour of Sri Lanka. Hear full coverage of all 3 one-day internationals and 3 T20s ahead of the start of the T20 World Cup in February. Continues with the 3rd ODI tomorrow morning from 9, exclusively on TalkSport 2.
What you got here for us then, young Egon?
It's TalkSport's live...
And we're back at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. Pascal Strike's just sent the ball over the top of the crossbar. Sorry for the interruptions. It's Everton 0, Leeds United 0, live on Talksport tonight. And
you'd think they put the plug in, Sam, wouldn't you? A brand new stadium, you can't put the plug in.
What do you reckon it is? The electric?
Yeah, maybe
wiring,
something. Yeah, maybe
what
something.
What do you reckon it is?
I haven't paid the bill.
Maybe it's the cold. Maybe all the circuits are frozen tonight. I don't know. But we've had a few interruptions here. We'll try to resolve that for you. You've missed nothing. No real incident as of note so far. Everton have made a bright start to the game, but Leeds have had their first attack. Pascal Strout heading the ball from the edge of the penalty area. It went way over the top of the crossbar. 7 minutes into the game, and this is Talksport. Everton against Leeds United. Joe Rodon has it deep inside his own half. To the right is Bogle trying to get it into Aronson. He's an extra attacking midfield player today. Means that Calvert-Lewin is up on his own. It's going to be important for Stack and Aronson to get up as close as possible to him so he's not isolated, Steve.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very difficult for Leeds in that perspective. The two wing-backs in particular are out-and-out full-backs, so all of a sudden they've got 5 players defensively-wise. But, yeah, it's important that they get close to Calvert-Lewin and give him a chance.
Here's Mykolenko on the near touchline, wide on the left for Everton. And a good ball in by Garner into Mykolenko, who made a run in between the fullback and the centre half. And he couldn't quite get hold of it, Mykolenko. He almost trod on the ball, fell over. But it was James Garner who wrapped that ball into him. And it was perfectly placed by the England hopeful. Aronson wins it back for Leeds. Now Ampadu just short of the centre circle. Plays it square. On to Pascal Strout, who moves up towards halfway. Then turns it back to Sebastian Bornau, who's playing in the middle of the three tonight with his blonde hair tied back by an Alice band. Bogle sends it forward, finds Stack, helps it on. Calvert-Lewin is in behind the defence. Pickford's made a bit of a muddle of it, but it's gone behind to Patterson, who fields it from the edge of the 6-yard box and is able to clear.
All of a sudden there's that threat from Calvert-Lewin, full of energy and full of life. He looks from the start of it and just nearly got through. Brave goalkeeper from Pickford, come off his line and stopped it at source, but very nearly got in.
Yeah, it was a handful, wasn't he? Dominic Calvert-Lewin, as the ball went through the middle, he just used his strength just to hold off Jake O'Brien, who has coincided actually his performances at the heart of the defence for Everton with 5 clean sheets. He started there for the last 3 in the absence of Michael Keane and Jared Branthwaite, who's back on the bench tonight. Ball cleared upfield towards Dominic Calvert-Lewin and headed down by Patterson, but Bogle almost got hold of that. Pickford had to come out and deal with the sweeping up behind the defence just to make sure it didn't reach Bogle, and it's cleared by Everton to the far side. Back to Pickford it comes from Patterson. He's inside the D now, looking to try and get the ball forward. He's sending signals to get the giant on the run. He cuts in the side for weaves it from Bogle, gets away from Ampadu, works it out to
Talksport Podcast League. Outspoken with White and Jordan.
The best of White and Jordan is now available in one unmissable daily podcast.
So you've got a perfect storm.
From the top flight to the big fight, get opinionated debate that's always on the ball.
Time to hire somebody who can win.
And on the money.
This is a long way from a done deal.
Outrageous.
Outstanding.
Goalkeeper Carl Darlow has the ball for Leeds United. Kicks it upfield through the middle of the pitch. Headed down by O'Brien. Collected by Aronson, who weaves his way past Patterson. Into the penalty area he goes. He takes a tumble after a tackle from Patterson, but there might well have been use of a hand from Aronson in the build-up there, and a free kick given against the American by Simon Hooper, 10 yards outside the penalty area. Steve Bruce.
Yeah, looked as if he was in for a minute, Aronson. The referees pulled it back for a little bit of a handball, but yeah, he's a threat, isn't he? That's twice I've seen him in the last few weeks. Him and Calvert-Lewin really look a threat at the top end of the pitch.
Well, 10 minutes played, Everton 0, Leeds United 0, in the crisp and cold at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. That was loose from Barry. He's given it away to Pascal Strout. And now Aronson trying to take on Tarkowski. Cuts infield. It's good covering that by Patterson, who just nipped in and helped his teammate out after a little body swerve from Aronson took Tarkowski out of the game. They've won it back high up, Leeds, and Bogle delivers across into the penalty area. Patterson misses this one. It goes past him and through the penalty area and out the other side, and Leeds United all of a sudden are just getting a little bit of momentum in the game, Steve.
Yeah, the final third, isn't it? All of a sudden they look a threat. and they've been camped out in the last 2-3 minutes. Nearly got in once or twice. Here we go now. How often do we see this now in the Premier League? A long throw. It seems as that every team in the division now has got a long throw, and Leeds are no different.
Well, it's also in Ampadu's arsenal. He is just drying the ball on his white jersey away to our left. His long sleeve Leeds United top. He's level with the edge of the penalty area, down the left for Leeds United. It's launched into the box. It comes back out to Justin, who strikes it. But his strike is low but inaccurate. It goes well wide of the upright and out for a goal kick away to our right-hand side. It remains Everton 0, Leeds United 0. Everton caused a bit of a stir last week when they came up with a victory at Villa Park. It was their first win of 2026. Their best performances have really come on the road, actually. Haven't quite settled into their new surroundings. Neither have we, by the sounds of it. We're getting there, though.
It would help if they played the electricity bill, wouldn't it?
Yeah. The ball goes up to Barry. He falls over in a crumpled heap. He seems to have just hurt himself there. Tierno Barry. He went down, actually, with nobody around him. He collided over on the far side with Pascal Stroud and then waited a couple of seconds, and then probably as soon as the ball was laid off for a second time, he went down very quickly and looked dejected, and immediately the medical staff are called on, and Beto has gone out to warm up.
Doesn't look very good, Sam, does it? It looks as if he's gone down in a bit of a heap, and when that sort of happens, you fear for a player. Has he done a hamstring, or has he hurt his knee or twisted his knee? Or
well, he was chasing out to try and reach Pascal Stroud. I wonder whether or not Stroud just stepped on his toe as the two went towards the ball. I hope it's not a muscular injury, because if it is a muscular injury, then that's not going to be resolved by a little rubbing of a magic sponge.
Yeah, let's hope he's okay, that it is just a kick. Looks like it, doesn't it?
Well, let's hope so. He's walking off over on the far side. Dominic Calvert-Lewin just coming over to the near touchline to speak to Daniel Farke. I saw Leighton Baines actually giving some instruction, although the concern must be pretty real, because David Moyes is speaking to Beto quite intently on the touchline. So, well, we'll see what happens. He's just gone to see whether he can run, Tierno Barry, and he's gone running down the touchline. Hopefully he will re-enter the pitch. It's 0-0, 13 gone. Here is Gruev into Ampadu, round the corner for Stack up to Aronson, edge of the penalty area. He did try and get it behind him, but Bogle's coming in inside the box, right hand side, and a slide tackle from Tarkovsky. It was a decent block, actually, as he slid across the turf, stopped it from going through the 6-yard area, and it goes out for a corner kick to Leeds United. That was a very good move. They had a lot of players in the attack there, and actually options left and right for Aronson when he picked the ball up on the edge of the penalty area.
Probably we picked the wrong option, but that's now 2 or 3 times they've gone the last third, and look, a threat down, the little flick from Calvert-Lewin round the corner. Aronson's decided to go to the right hand side. For me, could the fullback have shot at the time? Missed the pass.
Here is Stack with the corner in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It floats everywhere over one's head. Gruev with an effort from the edge of the box, but he doesn't get it on target, and it whistles past the top corner of crossbar and post and out for a goal kick away to our right hand side. Everton 0, Leeds United 0, but arguably, Steve, Leeds have had the better chances in the game.
Yeah, he's first thing he's done is grab his head there. He put his hands in his head, because I think he realised what a good chance it was. Edge of the box, 18 yards out, had a lot of time.
Well, Leeds won when these two met at the beginning of the season in what was a very bad Everton performance. Here is Mikalenko moving down the left-hand side. Here onto Njai, who dances forward, produces a cross, headed away by Stroud. Bounces out as far as Calvert-Lewin, who tries to hold on to it, can't do so. Armstrong guides it back to Jimmy Garner. He turns and plays down the left-hand side, travels with the ball before shifting it on to Iliman Njai. Armstrong encouraged to go forward by Njai, and then Garner looks for him down the left side of the pitch. Away it goes, up towards Njai again. And then Garner sends it out towards the left-hand side. Picked up by Mikalenko. Infield it goes to Armstrong. Back out to Idrissa Gana-Gueye, who's been very deep so far in the game. We haven't seen too much of him since his return from AFCON. Hardly had a kick of the ball so far.
He certainly needs his white tights on tonight, for goodness sake. It's freezing here, Sam, isn't it?
He has
bright white tights on he's got.
He has. and bright orange boots. It's a look. Here is Mykolenko down the left-hand side, producing a cross into the box, away by Bornau, picked up by Idrissa Gana Gueye, sent wide towards the right. Patterson now looking to try and force Everton forward. He goes laterally infield towards McNeil, and they can't really pierce what is a very well-drilled back line from Leeds United. The shape is good, the positions are being held well, and that's just preventing Everton from finding room on the edge of the box and inside it.
They look rock solid in the first 15 minutes. I know Everton have had a little bit of possession, but they've had no real penetration to get in behind them at all, have they? So very, very well organised. As I said, the back three, and then the two wing-backs are all defensive-minded. Ampadu in front of them. They're going to be rock solid and very difficult to break down.
It's a good header by Aronson, and then a good run by Gruev, who runs through the centre circle and gets them on the charge once more. Bogle up on the right side. Rodon tucks it back in field. Ampadu has hold of it. So important to the way Leeds plays. Positional intelligence is so good. Strout joins the attack. Out left towards Aronson, who's crossed into the box, steered away by Tarkowski. Strout keeps them pinned in, with a ball back down to Aronson, who's in the left side of the box, taking on McNeil. Comes back on his right foot. Space for Gruev to deliver across. Calvert-Lewin nods it back, I think, to a blue shirt. He maybe got a little bit disorientated there, and then they look to try and escape, but they can't. And Leeds United turn it over again. They have possession inside Everton territory. 18 gone. 0-0 the score at the Hill Dickinson. Down on the left is Aronson. He is crunched by McNeil, who pinches the ball, gets it back to Patterson, who hoiks it towards halfway. Strauch and Barry in a bit of a tangle. The ball goes out of play and away for a throw-in on halfway to Leeds United. And it has been a good, positive start from Leeds, and I think there's a little bit of tension in the air here. They haven't seen their team win in this stadium since December the 6th when they beat Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, there's a bit of an edginess around the place, isn't there? And Leeds are obviously on a good run of form, only been beaten once in the last 9 games in the Premier League, so they've come in here full of confidence, and they've enjoyed the challenge of it so far, and would be said have arguably looked a bigger threat.
That switch at half-time in the game against Manchester City when they were defeated in November made a massive difference to what they've done. They've lost, as Steve said, just once in 10 in all competitions since then. They've scored goals, they've kept clean sheets, they run harder than most, they apply pressure in the final third. They have improved immeasurably, and Daniel Farke, who's actually under pressure, deserves credit for that. They're not secure in the Premier League, they know that. There is a long way to go, they need more points. Here's Justin, looking to find some. Aronson, Bogle, edge of the area, comes back to Justin, kicks it straight at Mykolenko and cleared away. And do you know what? It was a really good Leeds United move. The two players you probably didn't want the ball to fall to in that area were Justin and Bogle. And unfortunately, it was the fullbacks who got that delivery.
Yeah, that's what we said at the start with it. They're really good defensively in the forward attacking areas. Can they produce that final thing? Just felt to them there in the box, and you could see, you know, that natural thing to get a finish away wasn't there.
Well, free kick has been given against Snack on this near side, and it's going to be an Everton free kick. And actually there's a few sort of disappointed Everton bodies as that free kick was awarded, because they felt that they could counter-attack quickly and they wanted the advantage played by Simon Hooper. But it hasn't been a particularly good start for Everton. They have struggled to find their rhythm a little bit. Up it goes towards Strauch. I was a little bit surprised that we didn't see Merlin Roll today in the starting 11 after a good showing at Aston Villa, and someone who's very well thought of. We might see him in the second half. McNeil tracking back, does well to pinch the ball from Justin, then gives it straight to Ampadu. He charges forward into Everton's half of the field. It goes right to Bogle once again. He stops it, waits, pushes it back into the path of Rodon, and then Leeds United are able to build once more. On to Strauch it goes. The Dutchman fires it into Justin, who signed from Leicester City in the latter part of the summer transfer window. Leicester City, who sacked their manager Martí Cifuentes yesterday. James Justin going down the right-hand side, looking for an opportunity to take on Mykolenko. It goes out of play. Gary Rowett, it emerges, is a target for Leicester City. Talksport breaking that news in the last hour or so.
Yeah, very talented manager, isn't he, you know?
Talksport's certainly the place to be this time next week, when we bring you the transfer window closing, all the deadline day deals with Alex Crook and Jim White. 6:30 on deadline day, which is next Monday. There might have been a kick there on Ampadu, who's gone to ground. He's getting back to his feet. And he was a little bit perturbed by that. The fourth official just trying to placate Daniel Farker, who's inside the technical area. The technical areas are a little bit odd here. It's a brand new stadium. And you know, you get those big sort of wide technical areas like down at West Ham. They're absolutely huge, aren't they? And here, they're like very small little boxes that only take up half of the area of each dugout.
Yeah, I've never really noticed, Sam, until you've just informed me. But they do look rather odd, don't they? Not very big, are they?
No, they're like little squares.
Yeah,
it's very strange.
I mean, there's only supposed to be one person in the box at the moment, isn't there? Is that the real still?
One at the front and one at the back, is that right?
Something like that.
God, Mikel Arteta wouldn't stay in that one, would he? Ball down the right-hand side. Bogle uses his body brilliantly. A flick by Calvert-Lewin, plays it infield. It's a little bit heavy from Bogle, who was fouled actually by Mikalenko, and the referee Simon Hooper just going to call a halt to proceedings, give a free kick to Leeds United, who have found their rhythm and tempo in this game very quickly. The belying aside actually, whose away record was bemoaned before kick-off, they look the more comfortable.
They're very, very comfortable, and what they're doing at the moment look very, very comfortable. The system suits them. The three centre-halves look very, very secure, and the two wing-backs, as we know, are real out-and-out full-backs. And, of course, with Calvert-Lewin up the top end of the pitch, then with the goal-scoring record he's got over the last few weeks, you can understand why they've got a few results.
Well, Calvert-Lewin has been particularly impressive for him. He sets the press. It probably was time for a change at the end of last season. I think he would have scored goals in this team had he had been here, but sometimes you just need a little bit of a refresh, and he's gone to Leeds and been able to do that. He has just made a foul inside the penalty area, which means that Everton are going to have a free kick away to our right. So it's a little bit of a wasted set piece from Leeds United. But he certainly has made an impact in white, and he would love to come here and score a goal in front of these Everton fans tonight. Here's Tierno Barry turning the ball round the corner and beating Bornau for pace, bursting into the box down the left-hand side, and then he inadvertently took it out of play. Bornau getting back to do just enough physically to put Barry off, and he ended up pushing the ball out of play and away for a goal kick. But it was a terrific touch to set him off on the halfway line, and actually it was a brilliant run down that left-hand side by Tierno Barry.
Great technique on the halfway line, shows a bit of pace and runs away from the centre half, doesn't he? And then at the end, you could just sense the frustration of all the supporters. Just when it needs a cross, he's inadvertently come off his other foot and went out for a goal kick.
Here is Bornau down the right, blocked by Armstrong, who's putting the Leeds defence under pressure. He's doing a lot of good work, actually, Armstrong, at the top of that formation. Hasn't been able to get on the ball, but he's brilliant to put himself around a bit. Actually playing in the number 10 area today. It's the third start in a row for Harrison Armstrong. But as I think Adrian sort of alluded to, some interesting quotes yesterday in the press conference from David Moyes, in which he sort of said, you know, if he's going to stay, he's got to sort of play, because if he's not, he can go and play 20 games for Preston until the end of the season. He can only play for Preston or Everton between now and the end of the season, because he's already played for Preston. You can't play for three clubs in one campaign. Correct. So it is one of those situations where they either take him back on loan till the end of the campaign, or he stays here.
And I think Everton need a little bit of possession to get him in the game. Unfortunately, they haven't had any real possession of the ball, especially in the last third. Leeds are defensively so well organised, as we can see now. They put the press high up the pitch. They go against people, make it very, very difficult for you. And they've started very, very well. And Everton have found it very difficult to get a foothold in the game with any sort of real possession, quality possession.
Well, even now, Tarkovsky has just been dispossessed over on the far side. The ball has been kicked out for a throw into Leeds United. That means Ampadu is coming across, and they just don't look settled yet, Everton. You're listening to most of Everton nil, Leeds nil on Talksport with Sky Sports, and don't forget that with Now you can stream all the Sky Sports action flexibly, like Everton versus Leeds live right now. Search Now Sports. Here's the throw in then from Ampadu far side, just about 4 steps back from the corner flag, wide on the Leeds United left. He's got Bornau and Strauch in the penalty area causing problems. Strauch goes towards the ball, flicks it on, goes to the edge of the penalty area. Njai gets it away. Aronson was actually hampered by Simon Hooper's presence and had to push him out the way to grab hold of the ball, but they do have it back, Leeds, 10 yards short of the 18-yard box. Back into James Justin, it goes left side. Then on to Ilya Gruev, the Bulgarian, and then tapped back by Ampadu to halfway. Everton cannot get out. And they're being urged up the field by the supporters inside the Hill Dickinson Stadium. Mykolenko tries to stop it from reaching Bogle. Half-hearted appeals for handball. The referee says play on. And Everton do come forward in Njai. Stack gets back and nudges it off of Iliman Njai, and it goes out for a throw-in. In fact, it probably should have been a Leeds United throw-in, and I think Anton Stack was alluding to that, but it was Everton who were given the ball. 27 minutes in, and Everton have got to find a way of just getting hold of the ball and knitting a bit of possession together. But Leeds just a little bit faster, sharper, more aggressive in their press, more aggressive when they've got the ball. They move it so quickly that Everton can't actually get hold of it for any sustained period. They have a bit of possession now, though, on the halfway line with Tarkowski. Out to the right it goes to Patterson. Patterson into Idrissa Gana Gueye, and then Tarkowski gets it back and feeds it to Patterson. He weaves away from James Justin, then looks for the return and goes down the right-hand side, but Justin gets that full-back's foul, which is where you run across the advancing winger and fling yourself to the floor and say to the ref, he just about caught me.
Yeah, the professional one, very, very well done from James Justin. He's seen the situation, just waited for that little bit of contact, and of course it was coming, and bought the free kick, as we say.
28 gone, and it's 0-0 on Talksport. David Moyes did name a very young team against Aston Villa last week. In fact, it was the second youngest starting 11 of the season, and actually it continued a bit of a theme. They usually play very well. They're unbeaten this season when the Everton team has had a bit more of a youthful look to it, and it's something he's had to embrace. There's been a lot of issues with recruitment here in terms of not having lots of numbers and lots of injuries too. But here's Stack looking for Calvert-Lewin. He's going to run inside the box and come back to James Justin, and he fires it in past Pickford, and Leeds United lead. Complete mishap at the back from the Everton defence, who were all sucked into the middle of the penalty area as the cross come in from Anton Stack. A step over from Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and James Justin was waiting at the far post. So was Aronson. Either one of them could have taken it. The American backed off, and Justin slammed it home. Everton 0, Leeds United 1.
Well, it all stemmed from Ndai. Was it a foul here? Was he fouled? We'll just look at the replay to see it. That's where that's what he's looking for.
But it was sandwiched between two Leeds players.
I can't really see it.
It wasn't really, was it?
It wasn't. A great cross in. Calvert-Lewin tried to go across the near post. There was two of them waiting at the far post to stick it in. When you look at it, I can't see much of it really.
Well, I don't think the VAR is going to have too much to say about it. They're still celebrating the Leeds United players. They believe they've gone in front, and as well they might. That goal from James Justin, his second of the season, and as we were saying, as the ball came across from Stack, they all just got sucked into the middle. It meant that Aronson and Justin were waiting at the far post. Aronson was coming onto the ball, maybe his body shape wasn't right, so he just ran over it, let Justin take the strike, and he powered it past Pickford, and it is 1-0 to Leeds United.
And just when we were saying they're a little bit defensive, James Justin has popped up at the far post and scored a vital goal for Leeds, you have to say. But there was him and Aronson at the far post, who both could have took advantage of it.
Well, I mean, it's only really what Leeds United deserve after the first half an hour of the game. They've been much the better team. Everton haven't settled. It's been a poor performance. It was a poor performance, actually, in the game on Monday Night Football when we were there on the opening weekend of the season by Everton. And I remember standing in the tunnel with David afterwards, and he was absolutely furious about the whole thing. And I don't think he'll be particularly pleased with the way they've started this game. Ball is with Ampadu in the far left corner of the field for Leeds, deep inside their own half. He tries to poke it forward. Across comes Idrissa Gana Gueye. Goes out for a throw-in level with the edge of the box.
No, we haven't seen them as attacking threat, really, have we? You just have to compliment Leeds in the way they've started. They've been very, very comfortable in possession, created a chance and taken it. And, Everton have got to be a bit sharper and wider areas.
I mean, this is a prime example. Stack pinching the ball from Mykolenko down the right-hand side. He's just stronger, faster. He's more hungry to get the ball, and Mykolenko just couldn't hold him off.
I think for the old Everton team, they all have to be a little bit more sharper and braver in their decisions and play with a little bit more energy about them.
Yeah, I don't know who looks more confused, actually, our technical producer or the Everton back line.
Have we put the plug in yet? Have we tried that?
I think we've gone. Have we gone on to batteries now? I think we are. It's either that or we've got a mobile generator. What we need is Reshmin Chowdhury's heated appliances. They always power everything. Here is Aronson down the right-hand side for Leeds. A little Bagdrak and then sent towards the far post by Jerome Bogle. It drops inside the penalty area. Calvert-Lewin just shouldered Tarkowski off the ball. He didn't do much, Calvert-Lewin, but Tarkowski bought the foul, and the referee Simon Hooper obliged, and it's a free kick. I don't think that was a foul.
No, it wasn't. And he started at Calvert-Lewin. He's took the ball off of Mikalenko in the left-back situation. Physicality again. There wasn't much in that at all, was there?
There was
the referee.
In it.
The referee's been very, very good to Tarkowski there. That's for sure.
I mean, he hardly even lent into him, did he?
He didn't really lean into it, but he's led the line really well. Yes. Calvert-Lewin, hasn't he? He's been quite clever and intelligent with these little flicks around the corner.
That step
and looked
over.
a physical presence.
The step over for the goal was brilliant. And here's Aronson going down the left-hand side, powering into the box, trying to get away from Patterson, who just about nudges it behind for a corner. I tell you what, Everton are so far on the back foot here that they could be in danger of conceding more before we get in at half-time. David Moyes is going to have to, I think, do a bit of surgery.
Yeah, Tarkowski got drawn into the tackle, and I thought it was an all-day penalty. Just got himself out the road in the right time. If he withdrew his foot, I thought he dangled it out there, but did well enough to keep out the road.
Here is the corner to be taken far side by Stack once again. They're loading up the back post. Now they've moved to the near post. It goes towards Bornau, and actually Calvert-Lewin would have been the better target, but Bornau took it off his head. It glances out to the far side, the right. Aronson retrieves it. Of course, a Leeds player gets there first. It goes back to halfway, and Everton need to up their game here because they're trailing by 1-0, and they look second best. 33 gone. Ball up to Pascal Struijk. Out towards Anton Stack. Back it goes again to Struijk once more. Everton 0, Leeds United 1 on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is you need, they're here for it. Here's Aronson down the right-hand side, onto Bogle. Low ball into the near post. Calvert-Lewin hits the post. It comes back out to Ampadu, who strikes it from the edge of the area, and it goes wide of the goal. Dominic Calvert-Lewin with a great chance to score against Everton, but he hits the post from 5 yards out. What an opportunity to return to Everton with a bang for Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
And it was such a picture postcard of the goal. That time he stepped over it. This time he's run across the near post again. Wonderful ball in across the near post. Great striker getting across. Wow. I mean, he should really score, shouldn't he, when he gets there in contact with it. Great ball across. Got contact with it.
I'll tell you what, Brendan Aronson has been absolutely terrific in this game.
He's been the best player, and if you remember when we watched Leeds a few weeks ago against Man United, he played very, very well that day.
He really did, yeah.
They're a threat, these two, Calvert-Lewin and him.
And they lead by 0, and they probably should be further ahead in the match. Calvert-Lewin hitting the post, Gruev heading the ball over the crossbar from the edge of the penalty area. One or two other opportunities that have caused Everton problems, but they've caused themselves issues as well. They have lacked the intensities required to match this very energetic and aggressive Leeds team.
Well, Leeds have certainly been the far, far better team in the first half so far, been comfortable in possession. In the last third, they've looked a little bit of a threat. They really look comfortable in what they're doing in terms of possession. The shape of them organised when they haven't got it. They look a very, very decent outfit at the moment, and you can see why they've only lost 1 in 10, is it?
Well, there have been 11 shots in the game. Everton had the first 2, and now Leeds United have had 9 in a row. It's been all Leeds since the early part of the match. Here is Pickford sending it forward down the left. It's chested down by the elegant Ampadu, weaves past McNeil, releases it to the left-hand side. It just got a little bit put off by Harrison Armstrong and ends up giving the ball away. They have it back now, Everton, down the right, and it's collected by Tarkowski and sent into the path of Patterson, urged forward by a grisly, groaning Everton support. And I don't think it is the cold that's causing them angst. I think it's the football they're seeing down on the Hill Dickinson turf. Here is Njai approaching Justin, goes on the outside, tries to produce a cross. It's Bogle who blocks it. It comes to Stack and he tries to get away. Good tackle by Garner. Garner wins it left side in the advanced left wing position. Back to Armstrong, then on to Gay. Patterson wants it far side. They need to get it in the box. Barry has moved into the area. It's a poor delivery by Patterson and it's cleared away upfield, and O'Brien pushes Dominic Calvert-Lewin in the back as he tries to go up for a header and gives away a very cheap and unnecessary free kick.
Yeah, it was a foul, wasn't it? I mean, the crowd aren't having it, of course, because it's against Calvert-Lewin, but it's a clear foul. And Leeds are frustrating everybody. They're frustrating Everton, in particular. The crowd here have been very difficult to break down, and Everton have found it really difficult to just create any sort of clear-cut chances.
Leeds 1, Everton 0 is the scoreline at the Hill Dickinson Stadium, and it probably should be more. Dominic Calvert-Lewin knows it probably should be more, because as the cross came in from the right-hand side from Bogle just moments ago, he managed to make contact with the ball but hit the foot of the post, and it was a powerful hit as well. The goalkeeper well beaten, Jordan Pickford, and he doesn't get beaten very often actually. His save ratio is excellent. They've kept 9 clean sheets so far this season. Only Arsenal have kept more, but they've conceded here tonight, and they are probably a little bit fortunate they haven't conceded more. Lovely touch by Justin to release Brendan Aronson down the left for Leeds. He gets to the edge of the area. His right-footed shot, no power in it. He sends it to the goalkeeper's right. That's a good, easy stop for Jordan Pickford. But again, it's another shot on target for Leeds United, who look rampant right now.
Yeah, and they don't really have... At the moment, Everton are in a little bit of a pickle. Are they going to go and press? Are they going to crumb press the back three and leave the wing-backs? And they haven't really been successful at it at all. And there was another wonderful chance. Now a chance with a free kick. They've won a free kick in the last third.
Well, Jerome Bogle Jayden Bogle's given away the free kick on this near side, and he's a little bit annoyed about it actually, because he doesn't feel that actually that should have been a free kick. He thinks he got the ball. The referee has been complicit in giving the free kick in favour of the home team, who haven't had much go their way so far in the match. But a set piece can change things. And McNeil and Garner, both good technicians, are standing over it. Wide on the left, it's actually dreadful. And it was unnecessarily put behind by James Justin and out for a corner, and they'll get another go.
Yeah, poor delivery, wasn't it? Poor delivery, but they've still got another chance, because obviously they've got the corner from it.
And Garner is going to take it. He travels out towards the corner flag. And the Everton fans just trying to urge their team to up their game here as we approach the latter part of the first half. 39 minutes. Everton 0, Leeds United 1 on Talksport. Here is Garner delivering the ball to the centre of the penalty area. Darlow didn't get much on that, but Bornau gets it away. Back in by Mikalenko, but he didn't catch it with any real purpose, and it was easily cleared by the Leeds defence. Mikalenko, though, gets it back from Patterson's header. Down on the left-hand side, Garner drifts across into the box. Too high, too easy to catch for Carl Darlow, who I forgot was playing, actually, because he's hardly touched the ball for about half an hour.
Well, he hasn't. I mean, that's the first time he's been really had anything to do, really. Caught an easy cross for him.
Ball sent long by Darlow, missed by Calvert-Lewin, but he did enough just to put O'Brien off. They just seem to have almost like an extra player on the pitch, especially in that middle area, Leeds United. I think it's because the fullbacks are getting up in support so well. They just seem to be outnumbering Everton at the top end of the pitch, Steve.
Yeah, the system what Leeds are playing with the 3 centre-backs and 2 out-and-out wing-backs has caused all sorts of problems in the middle of the pitch, and they don't seem to be, the extra man is in there at the moment, and they're going to have to deal with that better in the second half, whether they drop the young lad into them, a little bit more deeper to deal with it.
Ampadu with a long throw then from the near side, flicked on by Strout, pinballs around inside the penalty area. It's cleared eventually by Jake O'Brien, won by Bogle. Aronson's got it back again. He thought he was fouled, but now is tussling with Gay. He brings it to his left. A foul is given against Sebastian Bernal. They're so annoyed that they wanted to foul the Everton crowd that they were screaming at Simon Hooper to give it. When he did give it, Barry had escaped down the left-hand side, and then they wanted the advantage. He should have played on.
Yeah, the referee got it unfortunately wrong. If he'd have just let it go 2-3 seconds, it was the only time we've seen Ndiaye really get at the fullback went past him with ease, and unfortunately the referees pulled it back for a free kick.
It is 1-0 to Leeds United. Here is Gay up to Njai. Njai back up to Trisagana Gay again. Everton need to up their game here, up their tempo. Find a way to put Leeds on the back foot. At the moment, Leeds United look pretty comfortable in the game. 4 minutes to go before the break. Tarkowski.
Here's the classic one now. The 5 defenders, 4 midfield players right in front of them. Calvert-Lewin back alongside them, so their back 10 really now is back behind the ball in the last third.
And they pinch it, and then they turn it around very quickly, and they're all off and running towards the Everton goal at the other end. Very quickly, it goes up through Stack, then back to Strauch, and then to Justin. They kept it rather calmly, and then Darlow comes out, gets in the way of Gruev, and Njai's pressure just put him off slightly, and Carl Darlow ends up scuffing the ball out for a throw-in over on the far side. 3.5 minutes to go before half-time. Tarkowski into Gay. Gay runs through the centre circle, but his ball is dreadful. Comes out on the near side, misses Mikalenko, and that sums up the first half for Everton, really. It goes straight out of play.
Yeah, and these Everton punters, they're making their feelings quite well known, aren't they? They haven't enjoyed what they've seen in the first half, that's for sure.
The only person I think who's going to enjoy that first 45 minutes and benefit from the frustration of the crowd is the bar staff at half-time.
They're away already, aren't they? They're away already. There's a mass exodus. Who can get the first drink in, I think?
Yes. I think they've gone for several rather than just one at half-time, because it has been a poor performance. What will Moisey be saying at half-time, do you think?
Well, he'd be going through his mind to say, can I change something? Can I change either personnel? Do I change personnel? Do I drop a little bit deeper? Certainly they've got to deal with how Leeds are playing. They're very, very comfortable in possession. And you have to say well done to Leeds at the moment.
Norwich 3-0 commentary, top of the table in the Championship 1 over on Talksport 2. Remain SA with the goal live on Talksport 2. Bogle goes down the outside, tries to get the cross in, bundles off of O'Brien, headed away by Bornau. He was wrestling with Barry. They wanted a free kick there, the Everton crowd. I think they're a little bit disappointed with Simon Hooper, but really I think that's just a sort of sense of frustration with their own team as well, because they haven't been particularly good. Here is Rodon kicking it long up towards Stack. O'Brien will get first contact on it. It's loose on halfway, headed down by Bogle, looking for the run of Stack once again. And then it's all the way back to Jordan Pickford, away to our right-hand side. 90 seconds of the first half gone, and David Moyes in deep conversation with Alan Irvine down in front of us, just consulting about what the possibility is at half-time, what options he can use from the bench, and he has got options on the bench. Kieran Dewsbury Hall, Tyler Dibbling, 2 of those. Charlie Alcaraz, Merlin Roll, all available from the bench, so he can mix it up. But what he won't want to do is panic either. I was at the game yesterday, actually, at the Emirates, and Mikel Arteta made a quadruple change, and that just sort of sent a message of desperation, I think.
The one thing, Moisey, he'll never panic with it. He'll be thinking to himself now, how can I change this slightly? Obviously, he's not going to change. I wouldn't have thought 3 or 4 in personnel, that's for sure. Can he make a slight tactical change? Can they be a bit more aggressive like they are at this particular moment?
Armstrong wings the ball back high up. Garner joins the attack. Left-footed drive into the side netting, and it goes wide of the goal and out for a goal kick away to our right-hand side. Well, he scored the first goal at the Hill Dickinson Stadium, or in the first game, of the Hill Dickinson Stadium, after Njai had put them in front on the opening day. But he didn't come as close as he would have hoped there. I just wonder whether or not he would have been better passing that off to a teammate inside the penalty area, because the angle was always against him.
Yeah, it was a sort of slight angle, wasn't it? He was never going to really score from there, but certainly they've pressed them there, and that little occasion is the only time they've caught Leeds where they're a bit more aggressive and got after them in the final third.
2 minutes of added time at the end of the first half, as indicated by the fourth official, Stuart Atwell, who I think is underneath that balaclava and big black stadium jacket down in front of us. You can't really see anything apart from his eyes. Here is James Garner down the left towards Mikalenko. Mikalenko travelling into an advanced position. It's cut out by Bogle, who pinches it off of Ndai, and then it goes into the path of Calvert-Lewin, and then Aronson is just snaffled by Patterson, and Barry has picked it up, running towards the edge of the box. He's got not much support, and Leeds United tidy it up and managed to get it away, and that really has been the tale of the tape in the first half. Here is Patterson round the corner looking for McNeil, but Ampadu is there and he wins the tackle first, and I think that's why the Everton fans are furious and the Leeds United fans absolutely delighted, because that's what Ampadu does. He senses the danger, he reads the danger, and when it's a 50-50 there's only ever one winner.
Well, he's impressive, isn't he, in there? And it was always going to be his ball, that's for sure.
Here is Harrison Armstrong down the left-hand side. Infield it goes to Jimmy Garner. Back wide again to the left of Mikalenko. Everton trying to finish the half stronger, but they just can't get anywhere near the Leeds United goal. Even Calvert-Lewin is back there helping out his defence, trying to dig the ball away. Idrissa Gana Gueye has it, but they're on the halfway line, going not anywhere fast. Tarkowski to the right side, looking for Patterson, who wants to get it into the box. Before he does that, he hesitates and goes backwards. More groans of frustration. Chipped forward by Tarkowski. Mikalenko heads it down. It's Rodon who comes across and he hoiks the ball up into the night sky, and it goes out for a throw-in 12 yards outside the penalty area down the left side. Here is Armstrong from Mikalenko's throw. Everton want to get it moving quickly. They're approaching the half-time whistle here and they know it. It's picked up by Tarkowski. Simon Hooper says he's had enough, and the Everton crowd are not happy at all. They have failed to win their last 4 at home, and unless there is a remarkable turnaround, they are going to fail to win this one as well. James Justin got the goal, but Leeds very much on top in that first half. They'll be disappointed, actually. It isn't more than 1-0, because Dominic Calvert-Lewin had a cracking chance to score on his return to Everton, across from the right-hand side from Bogle, which he steered goalwards. It crashed the inside of the post, and at half-time it's just Everton 0, Leeds United 1.
Well, they aren't happy. They're fuming, in fact, the Everton fans. And when that half-time whistle, when Everton had the ball in the Leeds half, and the Everton fans weren't unhappy that the ref had blown for half-time while they were seemingly preparing for an attack. They're unhappy that Everton hadn't got the ball forward quicker. And they're unhappy with how slow Everton are. They're pedestrian. They're plodding along in this first half. And as the boys have just said in commentary, Leeds are first to everything. They're the away side. Everybody gets back when they have to defend, and they race forward. And they've got so much movement, so many options when they've got the ball and they're on the attack. Everybody working together for Leeds United. They've been seriously impressive. It's the reverse for Everton. And I was on Drive earlier, Steve Bruce, saying that an Everton fan had told me that it could get quite nasty here. And I was thinking, really? They're 10th, they win, they go a point behind Liverpool. Well, that's the problem. When they've got Liverpool in their sights and they can win and go a point behind them, and then they turn in a first-half performance like that, any wonder these fans are unhappy.
Yeah, you can sense their disappointment straight away, can't you? And you have to say a big well done to Leeds, first and foremost. Defensively, they're magnificently organised and made it very, very difficult. And of course, they can sense the Everton crowd now are on edge. And of course, the more the crowd are on edge, they want the ball forward quicker. You're right, they want it quicker. I have to say the boy at the top end of the pitch has to offer a little bit more physicality and show what he's all really about. But they've been a little bit off it all over the pitch in terms of in possession and out of it. And in this particular moment, Leeds are the better team. So I don't think they'll ever play as badly again in the first half, and I'm sure they'll give the crowd something to shout about, because at this particular moment they haven't done enough to appease the fans, and there's that little frustration because it's a magnificent stadium and they've probably picked away from home has been their better performances, and they haven't seen enough at home.
Yeah, Keenan Dewsbury-Hall is back from injury. He is on the bench, and it feels like he could be a player that could make things happen, because if you compare, you've just mentioned Tierno Barry not really offering enough. Harrison Armstrong is young. I watched him as Leeds won a corner, and he was in the centre circle, and he thought, oh, I've got to go back, and you could tell he was frustrated. He wants to go forward, he wants to make things happen, he wants to be dynamic. He doesn't want to be defending, but he had to go back and defend at that time. So those two are almost the exact opposite of the two up top for Leeds United. Calvert-Lewin and Aronson have been fantastic, haven't they?
Well, they've been a threat. They've been a threat on the counter-attack. Some of the layoffs were Calvert-Lewin. He's come up to him, he's grabbed a hold of it, he's turned it round the corner. He's made a great run for the goal, for the first goal. He could have quite easily got the second one, where classic centre-forward play, where run across the defender, got a great contact when it hits the post, and they're unfortunate, Everton, that they're only 1-0 at the moment, because it could have been quite easily 2.
Just a bit more high.
It absolutely could, and you can see why they're missing Jack Grealish, because he holds the ball when they're under pressure. He gets them up the pitch. He wins free kicks. There's nobody. I thought Njai might do a bit of that, but he's not really doing it, is he?
Yeah, I wonder how long and what's took out of him this African nations. You know, he's been and have all the euphoria of winning it, then all of a sudden he's back, and within 2-3 days he's been asked to perform again. And the two of them look a little bit off the pace at the moment. As I said, Dewsbury Hall's a wonderful player. And it's again a night like today, on a late night tonight, is where you need a Jack Grealish. You're not playing well enough. Give Jack the ball, let him try and do something, get something off your seat, their supporters off the seat. That little bit of excitement which they're going to miss if he's got this stretch fracture what everybody thinks he has.
And just, we must stress just how good Leeds have been. I mean, you've got players out there. There was talk of Farke being under pressure before the season even started, if you remember. And you've got players who clearly are playing for their manager. It's they're prepared to run through brick walls for their manager. You could see that on the pitch tonight.
I think it was Sam who said that they had a change of formation against Manchester City.
That's right, yeah.
Back in November. And you can see the benefit of that, where sometimes as a manager you stumble on something, probably didn't think about playing a back five before. Maybe against Man City thought I must do. And they've been very, very comfortable in what they've done. With and without the ball. What's really impressed me is with the ball, they've been so very, very good in possession. And defensively, I don't think Carl Darlow's had... Well, he hasn't even had a cross to save, really, if anything at all. So I'm sure Everton are going to be better. But you have to take your hat off and say, well done to Leeds United. You can understand of why they've only lost 1 in 10. They've been very, very good on the night and been far the better team.
And the word on, we mentioned Ampadu before, didn't we? He's a Rolls Royce. I feel like I'm more of a clapped out Ford Capri with furry dice, but he's definitely a Rolls Royce, isn't he?
There's nothing wrong with a pair of furry dice. Come on.
He's been brilliant, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been very, very good, and he's been the catalyst of Leeds United for the last couple of years. I mean, you talk about the Leeds team, and he is arguably the standout player. The skipper got the lot, really. He reminds me a little bit of a Declan Rice, really, the way he plays. He's got that similarity, hasn't he, where he's comfortable in the ball, he wins tackles, he runs, he's a very, very good player.
He is Steve Bruce, the former Man United captain, with us on commentary tonight as Leeds lead 1-0 here at Everton. It could be more. It's got to be a big second half for the home side. On Talksport 2 tonight, there's live commentary, and at half-time there, it's Norwich City 0, Coventry 1, Romainessa 2-2 for the kid on loan from Crystal Palace. And we're the only place on national radio for the EFL tomorrow night around the grounds in the EFL. More details a little bit later on, but Lincoln Bradford in League One will be live on Talksport 2 at the same time tomorrow night. That is 2 of the top 4 meeting at the top of League One. On Friday night, there's more EFL action as well. Bristol City against Derby on Talksport 2. And Saturday lunchtime, Leicester take on Charlton. Leicester may well have a new manager. It may well be Gary Rowett by then. That's 12:30 on Saturday lunchtime. Saturday afternoon, QPR against the leaders. Coventry is your 3 o'clock offering on Talksport 2. And any wonder why we love the EFL? Wrexham in the playoff places in the Championship. Some story. 3 years ago this week, they were playing Maidstone and Gateshead in the National League. They could be replacing Tottenham in the Premier League at the end of this season. An extraordinary story. Half-time here at Hill Dickinson. Everton 0, Leeds 1 on Talksport.
Kick off live on Talksport with Sky Sports. Stream the biggest Premier League games flexibly with Now. Like Everton versus Leeds United live today. Search Now Sports 18 plus. Stream via internet. Terms apply.
Kick off on Talksport with Ladbrokes. 18 plus. Gambleaware.org.
It's another day at Screwfix, and Sir Mo Farah is still getting to grips with things.
So, Mo, with Sprint Delivery, we get the order to them in as little as 20 minutes. Okay? Mo?
Mo? Done. He was on the 18th floor.
Nice work. But, you know we use delivery riders, right?
Oh, now you tell me.
Sprint it in as little as 20 minutes. Screwfix. No stopping you. Conditions and geographical restrictions apply.
The beautiful game doesn't stop at the final whistle, and neither does the sun.co.uk. So you can go beyond the last kick with expert insight into the big moments and in-depth analysis of tactics, plus the latest breaking news and exclusives. And you can get it whenever and wherever you want it. To keep up with every kick, just head to thesun.co.uk. It's unbeatable.
He's having a blinder. He's clipped the post. He's looking formidable. Then...
substitution.
His game might be over, but yours isn't. With Betfair's Safe Sub, your bet simply rolls onto the player coming on. Playing a different league with Betfair.
Valid on selected leagues and markets only. Applies to singles, multiples and bet builder bets on qualified player outcome selections. Does not apply to odds boost. T's and C's and exclusions apply. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
We all fantasize about our perfect home. Watching the big game cozied up in the snug.
Another 7-0 win!
Balmy summer nights with the kids playing on the lawn.
We're playing real-life football!
But come on, this isn't real. Listen, if you're serious about making your fantasy a reality, find out what your home is worth instantly with a free online valuation estimate. Get real about moving. Get on the market. Most common time to obtain an online quote between 1st of April 2024 and 30th of June 2024 was under 3 minutes. Excludes Northern Ireland.
Incredible scenes here at the Village Hotel's Pub and Grill. Fans are taking their place in the fan zone with stadium-style seating, amazing views on huge screens, and we're underway. Lovely bit of dribbling there as she tackles the burger stack. Now they're getting down the wings. Sticky barbecue. Unbelievable. Oh, and he's hit the bar. And it's there! His favourite ice-cold beer. What a result! Catch every game live in the Pub and Grill at Village. Get in! Find out more at villagehotels.com.
Imagine a place where you can escape for a day. Get immersed in a world of rooms, inspiration and expertise. Where you can laze in luxury accommodation. And kids can feast from 95 pence. Tickets are free to everyone and include all the attractions. You've just imagined a day out at IKEA. IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
Hi, just leaving work now. Sorry it's a bit loud. Basically, so I was thinking we could get Mackey's tonight. Had a Big Mac on my mind all day, and delivery fee on the app is now from 99p. So, you in? Of course you are. Ha, love you. Bye.
Exclusively on the McDonald's app. 18 plus. Service fee and small order fee may apply. Participating restaurants. Serving times and T's and C's apply.
The UK's #1 football experience.
Kick off live on Talksport.
Everton 0, Leeds 1, live and exclusive on Talksport. Sprinklers are on. I'm surprised not freezing mid-air because it's that chilly here on Merseyside tonight. Now, the latest episode of How to Win the World Cup's live now on YouTube. It's on all available podcast platforms as well. The funny men, Matt Ford, Alex Brooker, they're talking mentality with 1998 World Cup winner Emmanuel Petit scored in the final. Petit also asks Alex who he would rather see end their trophy drought this year, his beloved Arsenal or England. There's only one answer there, isn't there? Come on. That's How to Win the World Cup live now on YouTube and on all available podcast platforms. And if you heard Emmanuel Petit on White and Jordan this morning, you'll know he is well worth listening to. So check out that podcast on YouTube as well. And the final ODI between Sri Lanka and England takes place tomorrow morning from Colombo live on Talksport 2. The first ball is at 9 a.m. Check out the Talksport cricket YouTube channel as well. Right now, let's get the halftime odds with Ladbrokes.
Odds update on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Get a free bet every week of the season and a big boost every day. That's Ladisfaction. Minimum £5 bet. Conditions apply. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Well, Leeds are 1 up, and right now you could get Everton to win it, turn it around and win it, 13-2. The draw is 27-10. Leeds win 10-21. Brendan Harrison to score any time is 7-1. Dominic Calvert-Lewin to score a header is 6-1. That's the latest odds with Ladbrokes. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Odds update on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Get a free bet every week of the season and a big boost every day. That's Ladisfaction. Minimum £5 bet. Conditions apply. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Yeah, around the grounds tomorrow night on Talksport is in Leagues 1 and 2. There's a National League game as well. Rochdale, who are one of the two that are out in front at the top with York City in action tomorrow night. But in League 1, it's second against fourth, Lincoln against Bradford. That's live on Talksport 2 while we're taking you around the grounds on Talksport. League 1, there are 5 teams in mid-table all on 36 points. They're 6 points off the playoffs, 7 points above relegation. Could go either way for any of those clubs. And League Two promotion race is absolutely incredible. Bromley are well clear, and then just 4 points between second and seventh. 3 go up automatically, next 4 in the playoffs. In that cluster of clubs is Walsall, who blew promotion last season when they were well placed. I'll be hosting from 7 p.m. tomorrow night from Walsall against Crawley on Talksport. And there's a fantastic story in the programme here tonight at Hill Dickinson about how Leeds' legendary manager from the 60s and 70s, Don Revie, was going to become Everton manager. It's not a particularly well-known story, this. A contract was drawn up. It was very lucrative for Don Revie. The move was all set. Some of the Leeds players even thought that Revie was going to go. But the contract remained unsigned. He stayed at Leeds, won the title again for a second time, and then became England manager. The rest is history. The story only emerged after that contract, that unsigned contract, was found by Adam Pope, the stepson of the former Everton chairman George Watts. He found it clearing out his stepfather's old stuff after George had passed away. Adam Pope, by the way, is the father of TalkSport commentator Cameron Pope, who is going to be on commentary duty next Monday night for us on TalkSport 2 as we bring you Sunderland against Burnley. It's on TalkSport 2 because next Monday night is transfer deadline night. So all the big stories from the transfer deadline, from the transfer window closing with Jim White and Alex Crook, will be on TalkSport while we bring you Sunderland Burnley on TalkSport 2. Players are back out. The crowd have started getting behind them. They did before the game, the Everton fans, and they are starting to get behind them as we prepare for the second half. But at the end of the first half, these Everton fans were not happy because it's Everton 0, Leeds 1. Live and exclusive on TalkSport with former Man United captain Steve Bruce alongside Sam Matterface.
And that roar you can hear at half-time is for the returning Jared Branthwaite, who comes back into the team at the expense of Harrison Armstrong. And Dwight McNeil has been replaced by Kiernan Drewsbury Hall at half-time. So 2 changes for David Moyes, and it was probably something that had to happen, Steve Bruce.
It looks as if straight away they're going to match him up in their system, play 3 centre-backs, push the full-backs on, so it'll be like for like, really. Be interesting to see what they're going to do with it.
Will be, and Jared Branthwaite has been out for most of the season because of an injury issue, and he's been joining in training in the last couple of weeks, getting up to speed. They're desperate to get him back, and he is now back in the Everton team wearing number 32 alongside Tarkowski and O'Brien in a back 3 with Patterson at right wing back, Mikolenko at left wing back, and Idrissa Gana-Gueye and Garner in the centre of midfield with Dewsbury Hall in the 10, Iliman Ndiaye over on the left hand side, and Barry leading the line. We will just keep an eye on how they perform in this second half. Leeds United, no changes for them. Dominic Calvert-Lewin chasing a long ball down the left-hand side. No alterations in formation either. They're wearing all white, shooting towards the left. And Everton in blue shirts with white shorts and blue socks attacking the goal away to our right in the second half. And they'll have to be a little bit better, won't they, in this second half? Because we were down in the concourse at half-time, Steve and I. And Steve, you were having your ear chewed off by a few Everton supporters who weren't happy.
Yeah, there was one guy in particular who wasn't very happy at all, saying they're in a bit of a false position and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, it's a positive substitution from David. You can understand why he's had to do something. It'd be interesting to see if it goes and pays off for him.
Well, second half is underway, and it's Everton 0, Leeds United 1, and this crowd demands a response in the second half. But Leeds have been one of the most resilient teams in the Premier League since switching from a back 4 to a 3 at the start of December. In 9 Premier League games since the change of formation, Daniel Parker's side have only lost once. They scored regularly and maintained a consistent defensive record. Only the top 4 teams and Newcastle have more points than Leeds since December the 1st, while only Manchester City have scored more than their 17 goals. And Leeds have conceded 0 or 1 goals in 7 of those 9 games, which is the joint best record over that time. So how do Everton sort this out?
Well, as I said, they've made it. They've matched Everton up. They've looked as if they've gone 3 centre-halves for sure.
Here is Njai attacking down the left-hand side. Rodon comes out to meet him. He goes back to the left and gives it to Garner, who swings across in towards the near post. It's headed away by Bornau. And then he wanted a foul there, Garner, but he was a little bit too casual. The ball was cleared by Bogle, and now Calvert-Lewin is running upfield, and he's got Tarkovsky on his own. He needs a bit of support. He's held it up brilliantly, and Gruev then has just rather lazily poked the ball into the path of Patterson, but they've won it back high up. Aronson could have played it to the left, but didn't do so quick enough. He stumbles away from Dewsbury Hall, gives it to Bogle, whose cross is deflected up into the air, and Pickford will come and claim that ahead of Dominic Calvert-Lewin. And then he looks up, he's like, where's the movement then? Where do you want me to throw the ball? There was no real options for him, Steve, so he had to hold on to it.
No, the centre-forward's got to really burst forward, and so is Ndiaye really there. The goalkeeper's had it in his hands. He's looking to try and release one of the forward players if he could, and unfortunately in front of them he just stood.
Here's Garner Gay, left of the centre circle. Leeds have never completed a Premier League win double or won back-to-back Premier League meetings with Everton. They last did the league double over them in 1990, 91. In fact, a trip to the blue half of Merseyside is not usually a productive one for Leeds United and their supporters. They've won only one of their 15 Premier League visits to Everton. This is their first visit to the Hill Dickinson Stadium. Their only win during that time, a 1-0 victory 5 years ago. Rafinha scored the only goal of the game. Whatever happened to him? Is he up to anything nowadays? I don't know. Does he do anything now?
Just a little bit.
He's having a good time at Barcelona.
Absolutely.
Barcelona captain at times this season.
Really?
Yeah.
Hope so.
Here is O'Brien down the right-hand side for Everton, skipping past one challenge, but then runs into Justin, the goal scorer, who slides across the turf and pokes it out on this near side, and it goes out for a throw-in. Picked up by Patterson. Patterson just right of the centre circle for Everton, looking to try and dominate the ball a little bit more in the second half here at the Hill Dickinson Stadium on a frosty night in Merseyside. Out wide it goes to Patterson right side. The tall, muscular figure of O'Brien guides it back to Tarkovsky. Consistent performer at the heart of the defence. He clips the ball forward towards Tierno Barry. Strout reads that perfectly and does well. It's hooked away by Justin. Calvert-Lewin with first contact, and Leeds again win the ball. Was there a high foot by Aronson on Idrissa Gana Gueye there? Well, the referee declined to give a free kick in favour of the home team, and Leeds United play forward. Ampadu up to Calvert-Lewin, a dab to the side, didn't quite come off. Aronson almost getting the ball back from Branthwaite, who was a little bit short with his pass. It's a little bit scrappy in the middle area at the moment. Njai trying to add a bit of poise to proceedings. A little reverse ball into Barry, who felt he was fouled by Sebastian Bornau. Simon Hooper felt he dived.
Yeah, it was a soft one. I think the referee probably got it right when I see the replay.
Well, Dewsbury Hall is absolutely furious. The ball's gone out and away for a thrown over on the far side. The referee is getting the ball and saying that it needs to be replaced because it's been punctured, and he wants to have a quick word with one or two of the main protagonists. I think there's going to be a drop ball on the edge of the area, is there? He's going to give a drop ball to Carl Darlow on the right side of the penalty area. Well, the ball was put out because it was burst.
Well, looking at the replay, I don't think it was a free kick, and that's what the Everton fans are going berserk about. He went to ground the centre forward, and unfortunately for me it was a bit of a soft one, and the referee probably has got it right.
Headed away by O'Brien in front of Calvert-Lewin as the kick comes forward from Carl Darlow. It goes out on this near side. Everton have only failed to score 3 times at the Hill Dickinson Stadium this season. Aston Villa, Arsenal and Tottenham have stopped them from scoring, but apart from that they usually find the net from somewhere. It's going to be a difficult task tonight though. Here is Strout winning the ball in front of Barry. Barry nudges him to the floor. Free kick given to a team that are very good at set pieces. And again, Everton not quite finding their rhythm. They've had a little bit of a burst at the start of the second half, but they haven't quite clicked yet.
They've certainly come out with a bit more intent, and it'll be interesting to see, after matching them up with the 3 centre-halves, to see if they get themselves a foothold in the game. Certainly in the first 4 or 5 minutes, they've looked far, far better than they did in the whole 45 minutes. They've got to defend a free kick here now, where the centre forwards give a cheap free kick away.
Well, it's Anton Stack to deliver it. They've scored 12 Premier League goals from set pieces this season. Only Arsenal have scored more. Stack floating the ball to the far post. It's headed down by Strout, but it's away from goal and out to the far side, the right. Mikalenko goes to meet Joe Rodon, the Welsh defender. There's a bit of a tussle between the two. A bit of turf comes up off the floor, and the divot springs back towards the goal line. The ball goes to the halfway line, and then it's immediately returned with interest towards Justin, who couldn't get it under control after a brilliantly flighted pass from Jayden Bogle, and then that's a late challenge from Anton Stack over on the far side, and the referee is going to produce the first yellow card of the game.
Yeah, it's a stick-on yellow card, isn't it? Yeah, the player gone to ground far too early. No real need either. Cheap free kick and cheap yellow card he's got there. Anton
Stack, who's returning from a groin injury. The German just a little bit over-eager, I think, just to set the tone in this second half. We played 8 minutes of it. Everton have been better, but that's not really saying much after the first 45. Everton 0, Leeds United 1. On Talksport with Sky Sports, and don't forget that with Now you can stream all the Sky Sports action flexibly, like Everton versus Leeds, live right now. Search Now Sports, and I'll tell you that it's a busy week this week of football. Adrian takes you round the grounds with Chris Iwelumo and Dean Holden tomorrow night. Loads of EFL action for you, including Cardiff-Barnsley. And on Wednesday night, Paris Saint-Germain against Newcastle. What a game that's going to be on Talksport in the Champions League.
Wow, what a game that is to look forward to, yeah. Does the winner get in the top 8? Is that correct, Sam, is it? Yeah, is that what I've just heard?
I think that's probably likely. Napoli playing Chelsea on Talksport 2. We'll have reports Arsenal, Liverpool, Manchester City and Tottenham as well on Talksport. Norwich 1, Coventry 1 on Talksport 2 is the latest scoreline from the Championship tonight. Calvert-Lewin gets the ball after a good tackle by Ilya Gruev. He runs the ball diagonally from the centre out to the left. He needs support. It's being provided by Justin, who's burst to get into that left wing position. Across comes Branthwaite, nudges it out of play, and it's away for a throw-in perpendicular to the edge of the penalty area.
He certainly enjoyed coming back to play against his old teammates for 9 years, hasn't he? Calvert-Lewin, he looks absolutely fit as a flea, and his link-up play has been excellent. We all know what a good player he is, and looks the outstanding player on the pitch at the moment.
Ampadu to take the throw. It's down the left side of the penalty area. He's stolen a few yards, and he's going to launch this one towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It's a terrific throw. He gets real distance on it. And then as Everton look to escape, there's a yellow card for Gruev, who pushes Njai to the floor. And it's another quick yellow card for breaking up a promising attack for a Leeds United player. And they lead by a goal to 0. 10 minutes into the second half. And I think it's been a fascinating game, actually. And Leeds United certainly in that first half very much on top. Second half has been a little bit more even, but they still, to me, look like they're the dominant force. They've had more of the ball. Their expected goals tally is significantly higher. They've had 10 shots, 3 on target. We're still awaiting our first Everton shot on target in the game. They've been playing more like the home team.
Yeah, they've looked very, very good, haven't they? Now at the top end of the pitch, they're a threat, as I keep saying. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Everton cope with changing to a back three, and can they get any penetration from a wide area?
Of course, we will speak to David Moyes and Daniel Farkas straight after this game, live into the sports bar tonight. Is the technicals going to work for that, do you reckon? What do you reckon? 50-50, you never know. He's not saying, he's not committing, Steve. You're
putting him under severe pressure in this wonderful stadium.
He's had a bad day.
By the way, everybody else is okay. Everybody's connection's okay apart from ours.
Yeah.
What can we do?
Yeah. It's probably his dodgy leads. Well, Leeds hope that they haven't got a dodgy lead. They are in front by a goal to 0. We've played a good 12 minutes in the second half now. Barry flicks it on, traces his own flick on, then runs into Strout. Ball goes out of play. It's out for a throw-in. Simon Hooper warns Strout for throwing himself to the floor, and Everton have possession back deep inside their own half. Gay, back to the left, where it's collected by Garner. A square ball into Tarkovsky. Tarkovsky short of the centre circle. He plays it into Gay. Back out wide it goes to Mikalenko. Mikalenko travels inward, looks up. There's not much movement in front of him. Both went short there. Njai and Barry dropped in to try and pick up the ball, and actually maybe a better idea would have been to run in behind where there was a little bit of space to dart into. It's back with Gay once again, into Barry, who's trying to hold it up. He pokes it into Dewsbury Hall. It's pinched by Rodon. It's all very tight on the edge of the area. Leeds defending well. Back to Dewsbury Hall, who's done brilliantly actually since picking up an Everton jersey. Tarkowski round the corner for Jake O'Brien, and they can't work it further forward, and Leeds immediately just harass up the pitch. They're very good at it.
They're very, very good at it. But at least Everton have got a little bit of possession and a foothold in the game. Asking Leeds a problem. Asking them to defend, and they're doing that. Leeds very, very well.
Yeah, in the mid-block,
and
they've
here's
won
the
it back
counter-attack.
again. And that's the danger, isn't it? Because Aronson's got it in the centre circle, and Stacker's made a good run down the right. Again, Aronson just, I think, chose the wrong option there. He went the wrong way. It was better to have gone over to the far side, and now Idrissa Gana Gueye is leading the charge forward for Everton. He's found Njai inside the penalty area. He's left-footed shot. He's blocked brilliantly by Sebastian Bornau, who gets across and stops a certain shot on target.
It looked a goal, didn't it? Wonderful challenge by the centre-half. Just got the challenge into the right position. He's got a slap on the back from his mate, and we looked as if Everton had created a chance for the first time. Great challenge by the centre-back.
That was a brilliant stop from Sebastian Bornau, coming in from the left-hand side and getting in front of Iliman Njai, just cut in on his left foot as he got to the edge of the penalty area after a really good run from Idrissa Gana Gueye. Mistake from James Justin, although I think some of the responsibility has to be shouldered by Brendan Aronson, who just chose the wrong option. Actually, there was an opportunity to release the ball to the right hand side, and he turned and ran out to the left, and that was a bit of a cul-de-sac. Turned possession over. Gana Gueye ate up the ground, got to the edge of the box, fed Njai. He cut in, looked as if he was going to score, and then the big German turned up and said, "Nah, that's mine, fella."
Great piece of defending, wasn't it? Just when we thought he was going to pull the trigger on his left foot, took the ball so well in Dye as well, into his stride. Great defending.
Said big German. He came from German football. He's actually a Belgian, Sebastian Bornau, with his blonde hair tied back with that thin white band, long sleeve white shirt on, and bright orange boots today. Again, the referee just being a little bit pernickety about where the free kick has to be taken from, so he delays the restart. We're hitting the hour mark on Talksport, and it's Everton 0, Leeds United 1, and that is a slender lead. And remember, Dominic Calvert-Lewin hit the post in the first half from 6 yards out, which really could have put Leeds in an unassailable position, and bearing in mind as well, you know, that Everton don't score that many goals. Dewsbury Hall foraging backwards after Rodon had shut the door as he attempted to get to the edge of the penalty area. Again, a good intervention by Ampadu, and that sends Aronson away. And very quickly, he's got white shirts in front of him. Aronson holds on to it, again just turns into a bit of trouble instead of releasing Gruev, and then gives possession back to Everton. So Strout comes and nabs it. Aronson gives it to the Dutchman. He powers forward now, and he's got a lot of room to run into, and they're backing off. Calvert-Lewin's got hold of it. Aronson trying to get onto the end of it. It falls back for Stack on the edge of the area. He's going to shoot, and Pickford has to go to his left to save it. But Everton just a little bit dazed there, and when the ball was on the edge of the area and Leeds were getting men up in support of Calvert-Lewin, actually Everton were a little bit unsure of what to do.
Yeah, there seemed to be an eternity for Leeds to get their shot off, didn't it? First of all, we thought it might have been Calvert-Lewin. That's the danger of Everton. They've got it at the moment now, but because Leeds are playing that counter-attack so well, they've got a little bit of pace on the break, and really they've got to be really careful if they turn the ball over in the middle of the pitch, Everton, because them two at the top end of the pitch are causing all sorts of problems.
Branthwaite waits and then chips the ball over the top of the defence for Mikalenko's cross into the box is steered away by a well-positioned Sebastian Bornau. Goes out to the far side, Iliman Njai gets it again, and then it's on from Ghana back into Branthwaite. 1-0 to Leeds United away at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. Leeds away from home haven't been particularly good, but they haven't been particularly bad either. They've picked up points away at Liverpool and Sunderland, and only narrowly lost to Newcastle United in very, very late circumstances. Ball chipped forward towards Barry, a little flick back, but it doesn't find a blue shirt. It's away by Ampadu. More groans. And here is Jake O'Brien. Guiding it back to halfway. He finds Garner wants the return from Patterson, gets it. Barry makes a run down the left side, gets into the box, cuts in, bends the ball to the far corner. It's a terrific fingertip stop from Carl Darlow, diving to his right to push the ball wide. Here's Idrissa Gana shooting from distance. Another save from Carl Darlow.
Well, it's the best Everton attack we've had, and we've seen a little bit give and go around the corner in midfield and into the centre forward. Takes it out with his feet and hits it with the outside of his right foot, I believe. Good save from Carl Darlow. First save he's had to make, really.
I mean, it was terrific, wasn't it? He had to be alert because, as you say, that's the first time they've had a shot on target in the game. And he got down to his right brilliantly, and he really fingertipped that around the post and actually steered that away from harm's way so that there wasn't anybody able to follow it up as well. Good stop from Carl Darlow. 1-0 to Leeds United on Talksport. But Idrissa Gana has just started to get into the action a little bit more, driving Everton forward. And he's just stumbled and fallen as I say that. And the ball has been pinched by Ampadu. Up it goes towards Calvert-Lewin, who heads the ball into open territory. Then he darts after it, but Pickford's going to get there first and sweep up for the home team. Very difficult to challenge in the air, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He's so very good at it. Ilya Gruev is going to be replaced by Ao Tanaka in the next few minutes. And Tanaka actually has been really impressive in this recent run for Leeds United, coming off the bench at the right time and just dictating play. I think he's better in this system than he was in the system that required a little bit more urgency at the start of the campaign. He has a little bit more time on the ball and he's a very good technician. 25 to go. This is Talksport, live at the Hill Dickinson Stadium.
Well, certainly Everton have been better in this second half, that's for sure. The match leads up, and we've seen a couple of efforts on goal. The best bit of skill we've seen from Barry. Certainly with a shot with the outside of his foot.
Great challenge from Pascal Strout as it goes up to Dewsbury Hall, and then Stack speeds away. Can he beat Branthwaite on the outside? He backheels it into Calvert-Lewin, edge of the area. He travels down the right side of the box. He does brilliantly to keep them on the front foot here and in possession deep inside Everton territory. Then they decide just to keep hold of the ball and go backwards rather than forwards. But it's very good game management from Leeds United. Are you a little bit disappointed they didn't go for it more?
Yeah, I was surprised that they didn't have a shot at goal there. I thought Calvert-Lewin was going to pull the trigger. Outstanding pace by the big midfield player. Stark, was it?
Yeah, he's a good player. When he came in from Hoffenheim, there was a lot made of him and what he was going to do. In pre-season, he was very popular with the Leeds United fans. He's very good on social media as well. But yes, he likes that. But he's got a great personality, but he's a brilliant footballer. He really has added to this Leeds United setup. Set pieces have been great, can really hit it, and he's got a bit of physicality.
Well, he's just seen a turn of pace there, which took him past two Everton players. Wonderful backheel into Calvert-Lewin. And I wondered, Calvert-Lewin then was going to take a shot from the edge of the box. Decided to keep it. Decided to keep the ball and went backwards and kept possession.
On comes Ao Tanaka, and he replaces Ilya Gruev in the centre of midfield for Leeds United, who still lead by that goal scored by James Justin on 29 minutes, smashed into the net past Jordan Pickford after a little step over from Calvert-Lewin from Anton Stack's right wing cross, and that divides these two teams as we go into the 67th minute of the game. Everton have possession on halfway. Jared Branthwaite, fair-haired, long-sleeve shirt, wanders up to halfway, returning from injury, which has restricted him to very few appearances this campaign, if any. Into Dewsbury Hall, turns it round the corner, out towards the far side, collected now by Mikalenko. Infield it goes to James Garner, and now Branthwaite slides it forward into Dewsbury Hall, back to the left and Idrissa Gana has a little bit of support down that far side from Mikalenko, who seems to be reluctant to use him really. Eventually shovels in the ball, gets it back again, the Senegalese, and then he runs into midfield, but Leeds' shape and barrier is so effective that they're just keeping them at arm's length.
They're magnificently well organised, and you're asking now your wing-backs, can they go and do what a wide player would do, a natural wide player? We've seen Mikalenko on the ball a few times now, and all he comes is he brings the ball backwards. Here we are again, he's trying to go into a wide area. Doesn't quite get it on this occasion, but this is what you're asking now. The full-backs, can they go and produce a little bit of quality going forward, especially when teams are going to defend deep against you? Here we are again in that wide position.
Is that the secret, is it? Getting the ball out wide, getting it into advanced positions down those sides.
It's getting that balance right of when you've got wing backs, can they be offensive? Can they go and produce a cross? Can they beat a man? And these two lads are out and out full backs really, so it's going to be not a strong point, that's for sure. Defensively they're very, very good, the pair of them. Going forward is probably where they lack a little bit.
There's going to be another substitution, I think, down in front of us. I wonder if it's going to be an Everton change. It certainly looks as if that might well be the case in the next few minutes. David Moyes and his coaching staff just in conversation with the fourth officials. And we'll see what happens as the goal kick is taken away to our right-hand side. Tyler Dibbling going to come on for Nathan Patterson in a moment. And maybe Dibbling will play at right wing back, and that's more of an advanced player.
Somebody maybe go past somebody. Can he beat somebody on the outside? Yeah, you understand that.
69 on the clock. 1-0 to Leeds. Talksport. Remember, tomorrow we're around the grounds with Adrian. Wednesday night commentary from the Champions League, the conclusion of the Europa League on Thursday night. And then on Saturday, we've got a late night commentary for you. Liverpool against Newcastle United, 8 o'clock Saturday, only on Talksport. That should be a fascinating encounter, especially seeing as both drop points lost at the weekend. Here is Ampadu. Goes to ground but gets back and still wins the ball. It's clipped in towards Calvert-Lewin, who wins the header, dabs it down, but Aronson can't get on the end of it. Patterson sends it back towards Pickford, but there was a little bit of panic at Pickford, had to come out and smash that clear. And now Tyler Dibbling is going to be able to come on for Everton as they make a change. Well, it's been interesting because Tyler Dibbling hasn't made a flying start to his Everton career. It's been a bit of a slow start, actually, in fairness to him, but he's a talented player.
Oh, he's a very, very talented player, that's for sure. Very, very good player. Yeah, I mean, maybe, he's had people in like Jack Grealish and Dye who've had a wonderful start to the season here, and it hasn't really taken off for the young lad, but certainly he's got terrific ability. Let's hope he can grasp it this evening, and can this be the starting point of it for him?
He once actually thrived down at Southampton when he was a young kid. He went to Chelsea actually for a little while. It didn't work out for him and he wanted to go back again. Went back to Southampton again, did really well. They sold him for decent money to Everton, and he's come on now to replace Patterson. Norwich League commentary by 2-1. Ali Ahmed with the goal over on Talksport 2. And that's bad news for Frank Lampard and his team. And you never write anything off though with Coventry, because usually towards the end of the game they'll score 2 or 3 goals and then blow you away.
Certainly been a trait of theirs for the last 6 months or so.
Yeah, Norwich have had a good spell though, haven't they, recently, after a poor start to the season. Here is Dibbling picking the ball up, wandering forward down the inside left channel. He's going wider of the goal rather than to it though, and he sort of ran into traffic, and again it's a little bit of disgruntlement which is quite clear from the Everton supporters. They're not having a great time. Well, I won't translate exactly what the crowd are singing, but they're not happy, I don't think. Here is Branthwaite over towards the far side, the left, clipped up towards the chest of Barry. Barry trying to help it out towards the far side. Bogle wanders out of play, and it goes out for a throw level with the edge of the Leeds United penalty area. Can they conjure something, Everton, as we go later on into the night here by the banks of the Mersey? We're on Bramley Moor Dock in the northwest of England on a chilly old night on Merseyside, and so far Everton have been frozen out. That was a foul throw, ball in towards the near post, flicked on by Branthwaite, gets a second bite at the cherry and heads it back through the centre of the penalty area. Njai gets it back to the left of Mikalenko finds Njai again. Surely he should toss this into the box. He doesn't do that.
You would think so.
Garner looks as if he's going to try. He then sends it wide to Idrissa Gana Gay. They're all banked up inside the area. The cross is blocked and it's steered away by James Justin. Why didn't he put it in?
Well, that's the frustration of the crowd. They've got the three big centre-backs up and Mikalenko's gone backwards, which he's got, and a lot of times he's got in possession in the last third,
come back
gone
to
backwards.
The foul throw in just a second as Dibbling dribbles down the right-hand side, looks to try and take on two Leeds United players, loses out to Aronson. Tanaka was alongside him as well. Aronson plays against the legs of Garner. It rebounds into the left full-back position where James Justin shovels it out of play and invites a little bit of pressure from Everton. And they haven't really done anything, but they've just moved a little bit more up the pitch. They've gained a little bit of yardage here, Everton. Here they come with Dewsbury Hall. They've been a little bit more assertive since he has come onto the pitch. He is a good player. Njai, what magic can he produce? Gets into the penalty area, tries to take on Bogle, stuck to him like glue. Comes back to Mikalenko. His ball headed away by Tanaka. It wasn't a great delivery. And then it's gobbled up by O'Brien, who's retreating to the halfway line. A little bit of frustration in the air from these Everton supporters. They're a little bit irked by the first half performance, and they haven't been placated, even though Everton have improved after the break. Here is O'Brien, forward into the path of Dibbling. Dibbling travelling forward right side. Aronson comes across. And then it's picked up by Dibbling once again. Languid style, shoulders dropped. Socks down by his ankles. Over to Branthwaite, then on to Njai, who scurries towards the edge of the area. A good run, shot takes a deflection, goes out. It's away for a corner to Everton.
There's the difference in a wide area. All of a sudden Njai finds himself in a little wide area, positive, drives at the defenders, has a shot at goal and gone for a goal kick, a free corner kick. And if there's any team that really relies on set pieces over the last few years, it's certainly been Everton.
Well, Branthwaite is in the team now and it adds height. Tarkovsky's there and we know what he can deliver. Jake O'Brien is a physical presence and Tierno Barry is excellent in the air. The delivery's got to be right, and it really isn't. It's into the near post, it's headed away by Bogle, and it was poor.
He'd be disappointed. He'd be disappointed with that, that's for sure.
Dewsbury Hall was the one who delivered it. Now Garner has it. Dewsbury Hall wants it back right side. Takes it down towards the edge of the area on his left foot. He bends the ball into the box, but it took a deflection. It was intercepted by Ayo Tanaka. He then nudges it out towards the near side. Leeds on particularly in rhythm at the moment. He's just kicked that straight out of play. And Everton have it back again. Everton 0, Leeds 1 on Talksport. The latest odds are available at Ladbrokes, where right now you can get Everton to win the game at 14-1. Leeds 7-2 on, and the draw is 17-5. That's all thanks to Ladbrokes, 18+. BeGambleAware.org. O'Brien out to Dewsbury Hall. Down the right side of the box is Idrissa Gana Gueye. Good low ball into the near post, and Barry is there, stealing a march on his central defender to poke home. And Tierno Barry, who's found form in recent weeks, comes to Everton's rescue again. It's only their second shot on target in the game, and he has poked it home. A ball down the right-hand side, centred towards the edge of the 6-yard box, and Tierno Barry got in front of his marker and poked it high above Carl Darlow, and Everton are back in the game. It's 1-1.
Well, what a strange game football is, isn't it? I mean, there didn't seem anything on, and all of a sudden was it Idrissa Guye's run down the inside right position, and I think it's him who's put the cross in, and again a centre forward who's run across the central defender, and Barry's got his foot to it and he's got a great contact on it, and it's gone smashed in the roof of the net. Delivery, cross into the box, great finish from the lad. We haven't seen much of him, but that's a really, really good strike from him.
Well, his finish against Aston Villa last week was exemplary. A little dink over the top of Emi Martinez, and that was a brilliantly accomplished finish from a striker who feels confident.
Did it take a little deflection, taking it up in the roof of the net? I'm going to have to look at the replay.
Well, the way he celebrated was like he's announced himself as a Golden Boot winner. I mean,
it's give the crowd a lift, and it's come from nothing, and you have to say Everton have responded in the second half. They've certainly been better, and you have to take your hat off to the manager making the tactical change in what he's had, and they'll give this crowd something to shout about.
Yeah, well, they haven't been particularly happy up until this point, but I think that they felt a little bit of joy then, and they need that. They need the goals here. They need a result here. They haven't won here since December the 6th, and Leeds United will be a little bit fearful now, especially as they've made a mistake and allowed Barry to escape. towards the edge of the area. He gets into the box. He's got support at the far post. Njai tries to bring it down. Garner gets on it. Leeds scurrying back. Njai now to the edge of the area. Garner Gay hits the crossbar from the edge of the box with a thumping effort. Everton pressure. Everton noise, and all of a sudden the tide has turned. Here's Njai over on the far side. Gets to the edge of the box. Tries to nudge it infield. It comes towards Mikalenko, commits a foul, and it's going to be a free kick. Well, Steve Bruce.
Well, your tides have changed. What a great quote. I mean, it's quite incredible, isn't it? Mistake at the back from Leeds. The centre-back who's been immaculate all afternoon, all evening, has miskicked one, loud Barry in, finds a pass, gets back to somehow Ngai and hits the crossbar with it. Well, and he's beaten the goalkeeper, all ends up. They had just been under the crossbar.
It was a brilliant effort from Idrissa Gana Gay. What a return that would have been to the Everton team. From the edge of the area, he's still scratching his head. How did that not go in? Well, the crossbar stopped it. But what it has done is it's lifted the noise inside this stadium. And interestingly, I just wonder whether or not now Everton will feel as if they can go on and win the game, despite really being second best for much of the match. They were much better in the second half than they were in the first, but they were so bad in the first. That was always going to be the way. And Leeds have just lacked a threat in the last 15 minutes or so. We haven't seen much of that counter-attack. Remember, they missed a good chance when they were winning 1-0 to make it 2-0 when Calvert-Lewin crashed the post. But they haven't capitalised on that advantage, and now Everton have come back at them. They sort of almost took their foot off their neck.
The goal came from Tanaka. I think it was Tanaka giving the ball away in the middle of the pitch, and they've done that over the last 15 minutes. They've given the momentum back to Everton.
Here is Tyler Dibbling to Dewsbury Hall. Dibbling wants it down the right side. Jake O'Brien is almost playing as an inside right forward. He's now coming back into his more natural position. Branthwaite has it in the centre circle. It's 1-1 on Talksport with now 10 minutes to go. Here is Dibbling attacking James Justin. Remember, you'll be able to have yourself the sports bar. Here is Dibbling still trying to deal with it and wriggle out of a tight spot, but Justin read that situation, pinched the ball and manages to get it upfield via Aronson. Well, the momentum is with Everton.
And the momentum's definitely with Everton, and Leeds can't find a way out now. And when they have, where they were so good in the first half with possession, all of a sudden Dibblins give them a threat down this right-hand side.
Here he is again, travelling with the ball at his feet, trying to skip infield, goes down under pressure from Justin. It's thrust away to Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who commits a foul, and that's going to be a free kick to Everton, and they want to get it started quickly, and they do, with Dibbling down the right-hand side, robbed by Aronson. Aronson trying to keep hold of it, wanted to escape with the ball. Simon Hooper gives him a free kick instead, and it's got a little bit spicy in here with now 9 minutes to go on Talksport. Yes, the sports bar, open for business. 03717 22 33 44. That is the number to call. Jamie and Jason ready to take your calls. If you'd like to get in touch with them, you can send them a WhatsApp voice note if you want. You can send them a WhatsApp message, 03717 22 33 44 81089 on the text.
If you don't mind, Sam, I'll stay away from that one. Voicemail, tap notes, what on earth's that we talking about?
It's not quite what it is, but we can explain it to you later.
Thanks.
It feels like you might need quite a tutorial.
I need an education, I have to say. I have to say, full credit must go to David Moyes, I have to say, in changing the system, changing it round. I'm always intrigued to managers of what they're going to do when they're up against it. He's had a great response to it. If any team's going to win it has to be Everton.
Yeah, here is Dewsbury Hall into Njai, cut out by Justin. And then Aronson now trying to get it forward. He's got Stack to his right. He's got Dominic Calvert-Lewin through the centre, but he didn't have enough support really. He couldn't hold on to it, and he's given it away. He's just been encouraged to get back to his feet here as Everton regain possession and look to come forward once more. Tanaka, again, not quite as secure in possession as Gruev was early in the first half of the game. And now Branthwaite brings it away over on the left-hand side. Here is Iliman Njai travelling out towards the far touchline, goes out for a throw. When you are a manager and you make those bold decisions, as he did at the break, where he brought on both Dewsbury Hall and Branthwaite, not 100% fit, otherwise they would have started the game.
Yep.
what are you feeling like now? Are you feeling like, right, I've done my bit? Is there anything else I can do? Or you?
Well, you're always looking to say it, and then of course the big one for me is he brings Dibblin, who's not really a fullback. He's given them a threat down this side, and asked the question and give them a little bit more something going offensively, because Leeds have been immaculate apart from the last 10-15 minutes.
Pickford comes out to the left full-back position, looks to try and clear. He smashes the ball upfield. We have only got 7 minutes to go here on Talksport. Steve Bruce, the former Newcastle United, Aston Villa manager, experienced Premier League boss and title-winning captain at Manchester United, is in the commentary box with us this evening. Here is Tyler Dibling down the right-hand side. Back it goes, infield to Jake O'Brien. O'Brien travels forward. He looks up, hesitates, waits, keeps hold of the ball, gives it back to Dibling. Goes infield towards Garner, and now it's O'Brien who travels forward. For 60 minutes, this was probably Leeds United's game, but now Everton looking to win it with Garner down the right side, produces a cross, blocked by Justin, out for a throw-in. Going to be a couple of substitutions, 3 in fact, for Leeds United. Daniel Farke about to bring on Noah Okafor. And Sean Longstaff, his grit and determination will be important in the middle of the park. And the debut for Facunda Buonanotte. Throw in, near side for Everton. O'Brien in towards the near post with a big, hefty throw. Kept alive by Branthwaite. Will be won here by Mikalenko, but Tanaka did well enough to sort of deflect it out for the far side. He thought he was going to be able to chase it, but it's going to dribble out for a throw-in. Quickly taken by Njai on halfway. He tosses it back to Pickford, who says, I'm going to smack this forward. He does that. Dibling couldn't deal with it. It goes out of play for a Leeds throw on this near side. They'll now make their changes. And again, just like I was saying with the David Moyes substitution, this is Daniel Farke responding, isn't it?
Yeah, they need a bit of energy, Leeds, don't they? All of a sudden in the last 10-15 minutes, certainly since the goal anyway, then Everton have been in ascendancy. What they have done, which was so good in the first half, Leeds, when they turned the ball over, they found a pass. In the second half, especially after Everton have scored, they found that very, very difficult. So they've changed 2-3 positions, certainly in the middle of the pitch anyway, give them that little bit of more energy. And they had to do something because Everton were in big ascendancy in the last 10 minutes.
Okafor, Buonanotte and Longstaff for Aronson, Stack and Sebastian Bornau. So I just wonder if that means a change of formation.
It looks like he's gone to a back four.
Yeah.
As long as he's gone to a back four to play against it. Interesting substitution. Fascinated by it.
It's a bit of a chess match, isn't it? Quite like this. This is good. If he gets a point today, by the way, Daniel Farke, I mean, he's always ever one result away from headlines about his job security, isn't he? But he's already recorded as many wins this season than his 2 previous spells in the Premier League. And a good point today gives him the most points he's ever got in the Premier League season. Here is Barry with a little bit of a flick which was unnecessary down the right-hand side. And it's cut out by the Leeds defence.
That's 2-3 times we've now seen him in full flight, hasn't he? And he's tried something, a little flick there, and it hasn't quite worked. Hey, listen, he's done his job. He's got a great goal. He scored a great goal, as he did last week. Give them a little bit of confidence, is what we've just seen him try something.
Yeah, there's a bit of a wrestling match going on between Bogle and Njai. There was certainly a bit of shirt pulling, and the Everton fans wanted a free kick there. They didn't get it. It's cleared away. Here is Branthwaite out towards the far side. And in it goes to... Oh, Barry didn't manage to secure that ball. He's given it straight towards Buonanotte, whose blind pass was not effective. I think they need a little bit more ball security than that, Leeds United, as we go into the final 4 minutes of the game. Pickford winds up for a big clearance. He gets it up to Barry, who looks a little bit tired now. It goes all the way through to Strauch. And Leeds look to build up. Yeah, what I was saying was there was a goal and a point tonight, which is what they're likely to get here. They've got the goal, likely to get a point here now, Leeds United. It means that Daniel Farke records as many points this season and as many goals this season in 23 Premier League games as in 49 games in his previous Premier League spells with Norwich combined.
Yeah, he's always had a team that he's always seemed to get a team into the division, and it's difficult when they come into the Premier League now, a club like Norwich, where he's done a marvellous job in the Championship, and unfortunately they haven't been good enough to stay in the Premier League, and it reflects on the manager. Always does. but he's been a very, very good manager since he's been in these shows.
Yeah, and he's obviously done a very good job to get Leeds in this position, but they just struggling to hold on to this point here, but they've managed to get in front of Njai and turn the ball over, and now Noah Okafor, one of his substitutions, is bounding forward. He's got Sean Longstaff to his right, and Longstaff is in acres of space, and he cracks it goalwards, and it's just too high and over the top of the crossbar and out for a goal kick. Well, he had Calvert-Lewin running through the middle, and that was the decoy, and all the blue shirts got drawn towards their former teammate. That left space for Longstaff over on the right-hand side. It was poked into his path, and actually, I wonder, Steve Bruce, if he'll think he should have done better.
He'll be really disappointed, Sean, and he's got the energy to run forward and really, really shoot. He's a really good striker of the ball, Sean is. He'd be disappointed. He'd be disappointed that he's put that over the crossbar.
You had him at Newcastle, of course.
I certainly did.
Everton 1, Leeds 1 on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk. 88 minutes on the big Jumbotron away to our right as Garner steams forward, feeds Dewsbury Hall, edge of the D, wide is Dibbling through the centre, hits the defender and comes back out. There'll be some who think he should have shot there, Steve Bruce.
Yeah, he should have shot and took a chance.
Another cross into the box by Jake O'Brien. Darlow comes across and gathers and makes a comfortable save.
I'm sure you'd be like 50,000 Scousers here. Why didn't he shoot? Why didn't he take that real chance to smash it towards goal? He'd be a little bit disappointed with himself. He tried unselfishly to pick somebody out.
Big opportunity for Tyler Dibbling. Played down the right-hand side, gets into the box, strikes the ball through the 18-yard box, looking for a teammate when maybe he should have tried to test Carl Darlow. Barry off, gets a standing ovation. Beto on for the final few moments of the game. And we do think we're going to have 4 added minutes at the end of the 90. Is that going to be enough time for a winner? Well, a draw probably would have been the result that most people were anticipating, but it does mean probably more for Leeds, who will nudge further away from West Ham United in that relegation zone. The gap will be 6 points if it stays like this, but there is still 4 minutes of added time to play. Mikalenko harassed from behind. Referee gives a free kick against Jayden Bogle. The ball is then kicked away by Longstaff, and that's going to be a yellow card. Quickly taken and sent upfield by Idrissa Gana Gueye, who's trying to drag Everton forward. Across comes Ampadu. He manages to wrestle the ball away from him. It looks as if he was pushing a little bit. The referee doesn't give a free kick, and Leeds managed to get it upfield now to the left-hand side, and James Justin, who just sort of pumped that forward into the inside left channel. It wasn't a bad ball, actually. Tarkowski comes across, clips it out to the near side, and Everton can't retain possession. Calvert-Lewin's going to get there, and he's got there ahead of Dewsbury Hall, and they're in the midpoint of the Everton half. Buonanotte onto Tanaka. Oh, he's overhit the pass. Well, it's a poor ball from Ayo Tanaka, and if he had got that right, then Everton were in big trouble, because Calvert-Lewin had made an intelligent run.
He's been disappointing, Tanaka, since he's come on, and he's been so impressive the last time we've seen him. That's 2-3 times he's given the ball away, especially in that one. Just be a bit calm, find Calvert-Lewin. Big opportunity they've just wasted.
It's my fault. Before he came off the bench, I gave him the big up.
You give him the big up, of course you did.
Gana Gueye pushing it out over to the far side. 91 minutes on the clock, and he's got it straight out of play. That's not what they need.
It's been interesting to see now Daniel Farke now revert back to a 4-4-1-1, if you like, which will Longstaff now off of the centre forward, and he's changed the whole system with the way he's set up, gone to a back 4, play a 4-4-1-1, if you like. Sean Longstaff off the front.
Yeah, you've got 2 wingers in Buonanotte and Okafor.
Pace in the wide area.
Both of them like to come a bit central as well. There was a foul there by Beto on Ampadu. And we're in stoppage time at the end of the game. Norwich are leading Coventry by 2-1 over on Talksport 2. They're in stoppage time as well. What does that mean for the table tonight? It means that Middlesbrough tighten the gap because they won at the weekend. 3 points between Coventry and Middlesbrough. Ipswich Town dropping points at the weekend, though, probably does both of them a favour. They're still 8 points clear of third place, Frank Lampard's team. Here is the free kick, which is taken by Darlow. Pumped down the field towards the left. Justin gets up, clips the ball into Okafor's path, and he's got a bit of space to run into as he approaches the Everton box. He tries to go beyond O'Brien. It's taken out of play by Dewsbury Hall. It's going to be a Leeds United corner in stoppage time, Steve.
Well, I mean, yeah, he'd be a bit disappointed. Dewsbury Hall got himself into a bit of a panic situation and give Leeds a wonderful opportunity in the last 2 minutes of the game.
Well, they've been so effective from set pieces over the course of the season. Only Arsenal have scored more from dead ball situations. They load up the penalty area. There's 2 on the edge, Okafor and Tanaka. Calvert-Lewin will be a target. Strauch at the far post. Justin in there as well, and Rodon. It's Longstaff to the far post. Rodon rises, but it's too high for him, and it goes straight out of play. And again, that's a disappointing delivery.
Disappointing from Sean and Longstaff. You'd be disappointed that he hasn't put it in the area where there can be a threat. Overhit it, and it's gone out the far post.
Goal kick for Everton. 93 on the clock. We're about to go into the final 60 seconds of the game. Pumped forward by Jordan Pickford. Wasn't a great ball, and he knew that. He looked at the floor afterwards. It's helped forward by Buonanotte, who's trying to tussle for the ball. O'Brien does just enough to hold him off. He goes to ground, Buonanotte. It's stopped by Ampadu. Oh, that's terrific. And now it's picked up by Okafor, who runs into space. Buonanotte's back on his feet. He shoots towards goal. It's blocked by Tarkowski. The Everton fans furious with Buonanotte because moments before he sprung back to life, he was complaining that he needed amputation. He was so badly hurt. And then all of a sudden the ball came his way and he bounced back up like he'd been reinvigorated.
I think Okafor would have just wanted him to get out the road, really, because he had a big chance of shooting himself. The boys jumped up when he knew he's got a chance of the ball, though. Huh?
Yeah.
Now, Sean, you can't overhit this one.
So, last chance, 13 seconds before the end of stoppage time. Longstaff into the penalty area from the corner kick. Leeds, can they win it? It's into the near post, and it's flicked on by Bogle and steered very, very wide right at the very end of the game. And that's probably the last chance, I think, Steve Bruce, and we're going to end up with Sheringham the points.
Yeah, it's gone that way, and it's gone better from Everton in the second half. They were certainly much, much better than they were in the first half. Tactical change from the manager, well played him, and all of a sudden probably now is a draw a fair result after what we've seen in the second half.
Well, it's a tiny slice of home comfort for Everton, but still no win here for 2 months despite the return of Njai and Idrissa Gana Gueye from AFCON, and yet another goal from Tierno Barry, his 5th in his last 8 Premier League games. It's 5 games without a win for Everton at the Hill Dickinson, but they move level with Sunderland in terms of points. For Leeds, it's now just 1 defeat in 11 matches in all competitions. Their away form isn't great, but they don't lose very many games, and it's an extra point added to their tally as they look to edge away from the relegation zone. Full time at the Hill Dickinson. Everton 1, Leeds United 1.
And a smattering of boos among the home faithful here at Hill Dickinson with that full-time whistle as Everton creep into the top half of the table, and Leeds go 6 points clear of the relegation zone and keep that good run of form going in terms of Premier League. It's just the 1 defeat in 10 now for Leeds United, although Daniel Farke might be thinking, especially after that first half, that they probably could have picked up all 3 points, Steve Bruce. They were so on top in the first half, and you go back to that Calvert-Lewin chance where he should score, hits the post, that goes in, and you're probably looking at 3 points for Leeds United.
Quite possibly, yes, and they're the fine margins, aren't they? You would expect Everton to be better second half, they were, and then they had the chance. You know, when just a guy hit the crossbar, looked at from where we were that was going in. All of a sudden the tactical change from the managers paid a little bit of dividends. I have to say, the boy Barry's finish is a wonderful, wonderful finish on the run. I thought to get it high, it took a deflection, but after watching the replays, it shows you obviously not. He's lifted it into the roof of the net. He's got a wonderful goal last week at Aston Villa. He's got another one today. That can only stand him in good stead. But the first half performance from Everton was so disappointing that Leeds will be probably gone in there. Could have been 2-0 up. In the end, probably a draw has been a fair result.
Yeah, I think that, listen, it wasn't a classic Premier League game, was it? But what I loved about it, there were 2 really good goals for a start.
Yes.
And secondly, the tactical battle, the tactical nous from the managers, both of them, I thought really came to the fore. And if you love your football, then I think this was a game for you tonight.
Well, of course, and I said during commentary, now when I'm sitting up here and watching, I'm intrigued of how managers are going to change it. It was obviously that Moisey was going to change. He made 2 substitutions, but not only did he change 2 substitutions, he changed the shape of them. He matched them up and played 3 centre-backs and played 2 wing-backs and give him an extra man in the middle of the pitch. That benefited them from it. And when Daniel Farke was under pressure, he went the other way. He brought 3 people on, went to a back 4, went 2 up top, and sort of swung the momentum back to Leeds a little bit in the last 5-10 minutes. But it was an intriguing tactical battle. Yes, it was. Wasn't a classic by any stretch of the imagination, but a really, really a good Premier League game.
There were a lot of boos at half-time. There were a few boos at full-time. They've stopped winning here in this magnificent stadium. That's a problem, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a problem for them. But look, they're in the top 10. I don't think much more people would have thought after 23 games that Everton would have been in the top 10. Obviously, they're going to miss people like Grealish. They've been done so well over the last month or so with the players they're missing. Certainly the 2 boys who've been away in Africa will certainly help them in the long run with it. And typically, who's not surprised when you've got David Moyes at the helm, because this is what he does. This is what he does year in and year out, and does it really, really well.
It does. It's an intriguing one for David Moyes, because he's got to try and keep these fans happy, but there's a limit to what he can do in terms of resources. I think the Everton fans coming to this game saw the table and thought, we could be a point behind Liverpool, and although they've had this unbeaten run, they got beaten on Saturday at Bournemouth. I think they thought, maybe, just maybe, they let themselves get carried away a little bit. Could we finish above Liverpool? They might be thinking to themselves. And then they only draw with a team that's fighting relegation. So I can understand it from their point of view.
You can understand that frustration. They've moved into a wonderful stadium. But as I said, I think if you ask all 50,000 of them, would you think you're going to be in this situation that you find yourselves in now, 2-3 points behind Liverpool after 23 games? I don't think many of them would have agreed with that, So, yes, they moved into a wonderful stadium, and how great it is as a stadium. They now have to give them something to shout about, of course, and it doesn't help that their best performances have been away from home, i.e. the win they got against Aston Villa last weekend was a terrific performance with the amount of people that they had missing, a very, very young team, and they've come today in the first half in particular, found it a bit of a struggle, but teams are going to come and defend deep here, and when you're losing people like Grealish who can do that little bit of extra in the final third, then it's always going to be a frustration.
It is time now for us to pick our man of the match with Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
The Here For It hero on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, we're here for it.
Steve Bruce, who are you going for?
Well, I thought he was an outstanding player on the pitch tonight, and I thought every time he went near him, the Everton fans are not going to let me out the car park, but I'm going to go for Calvert-Lewin.
I saw him speaking to a few of his old Everton teammates at the end of the game.
He's been here 9 years, and we wish the lad well. He's had terrible injuries over the year, and there's nothing worse when you're a footballer and that happens to you. No matter what you do, trying to get back, you can't get back, you can't get fit. All of a sudden, he looks as fit as a fiddle. Might have scored, but he was a threat all night, and for me, he was the best player on the pitch.
And when they didn't have the ball and when they were under pressure, he was working so hard to try and keep the ball when it popped out to him. I wonder if they were making some plans for tonight in Liverpool. Let's see what happens. Very quickly on Leeds, can they stay up from what you've seen tonight?
Of what I've seen tonight and what I've seen them over the last few weeks, they've definitely got a great chance. And I might not have said that 2-3 months ago. Certainly the system helps them of what they're trying to achieve. If he can stay well, Calvert-Lewin, because obviously you need a goal threat, and he gives a goal threat if he's fit. So if he stays well and healthy, I expect Leeds to be staying up.
Steve Bruce, thank you very much for tonight. Really enjoyed your company. That was our Here For It hero, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, man of the match from today's game with Enterprise Rent-A-Car.